going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I got to have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? It's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's up, friends and family? What's going on? We got a jam-packed show for y'all today, like we always do. Damn, this is great. It's just kicking ass and taking names, bro. I don't know if it's the light or what, but the gray is on graying. Oh, it's chasing me down. What's up, friends? On a Tuesday, we going up on a Tuesday. I was thinking about this Jaden Ivey situation that, what up, though? What up, though? What up, though? I was thinking about this Jaden Ivey situation that we're about to review today. And my take might be a little bit different than it was yesterday. Heather says, I just learned to embrace all my gray. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing that game. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not interested. Ra, what up? Loso Way, what up? What up, everybody in the chat? OG, I see you. A Dunn, what up, though? AJ Wise, what up? You said you embrace mine? Nah, y'all just lazy. That's all that is. See, I'm going to start calling out my chat folk. Talk about it. It may be 60 for me, Fry Brown. It might not even be 50. Y'all just lazy. Y'all just don't want to do the work to get rid of it. Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No. Say gray is wisdom. Lies on top of lies. On top of lies. There's plenty of people that got gray in their hair, in their beard, and they dumb and they stupid, and they got bad attitudes, and they got bad perspectives, and they got bad everything. Yeah, I only like pepper. I don't like salt anyway. It give you high cholesterol. What's up, friends and family? We in the building. We are in the building. It is some old fools walking around out here every single day. Don't tell me about no wisdom. He said the chair is messing up the background. Y'all like my racing chair? I switch chairs depending on what I'm doing. Got the pillow right here on it. Got the pillow right there on the racing chair. This one right there. Got the lumbar support. The white chair, this chair right here, it's the one right here, though. It's the one right here. This one is like, this one to put you to sleep. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. The car said he didn't like my chair in the background, so I got to get rid of my chair. What's up, y'all? What's happening, friends and family? We in the building. Man, we got so much stuff to go over. I don't know if we're going to have time to cover it all. But the one thing that's beautiful about it is that we get the opportunity to cover it tomorrow. And we have after hours tonight. Oh, man, we got a heck of a lot of subjects. It's a lot going on. And I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun. Yes, I do. So, couple different things that I've seen out in these streets. I wanted to get to Jamila Robinson. I might get to that right away because I wanted to talk about that yesterday. Trump is threatening Europe. He said if y'all don't get involved, then y'all can go and get your own oil. Might talk about that. Florida is completely banning y'all from coming down there from spring break. Birthright citizenship conversation is going to take over in the Supreme Court. We're going to talk about that. My favorite place, one of my favorite new places, San Diego. They say they got a homelessness problem. We might tap into the AI data centers. They saying that $129,000 a year is the new poor. A woman was arrested for pressuring her boyfriend to kill her baby daddy. And we got Jaden Ivey. So we got a lot to cover today, y'all. We might as well just get straight to it. Let me go ahead and acknowledge my dog. What up to my dog? Shout out to my dog. Shout out to Mike that dude. I appreciate you, Mike that dude. You're one of the most consistent people I've ever seen in my entire life. And life. What up, Mike that dude in the building? What up to all of my friends and family? I appreciate y'all. Let me get into this real quick. Get into this. We got to talk about Jamila. Hold on, let me share this. You know what I was thinking about also, though? Before I get into that, I'm not really into the same stuff that I was into 5 and 6 years ago. Like, you know how I like my watch or whatever? Like, I got a collection, for example, of Rolexes. And I was thinking to myself, I really only wear one. And then I have to intentionally. We got a new 401k change in the White House. I'll talk about that if y'all send it to me. Then we got to intentionally like I have to intentionally try to wear other watches. And then I was thinking to myself, like, do I really care as much about watches? And it's not even about watches. It's just about, I think my lifestyle is changing. Like, I care more about right now in this moment. I love cars. I love cars. Like, I absolutely love cars. And I'm going to always probably keep a rotation in a fleet of cars. But as far as everything else, like if I look at my what I wear, like I pretty much wear a black shirt every day. I wear a black shirt. I wear my Versace cargo pants or black Levi's. And I pretty much wear the same shoes every day. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know if I need all of this stuff. You said AD add the land dweller to the collection for what? I only like to wear the presidentials. I really, honestly, like I got this one and then I got the other one, the other presidential. And those are the only ones that I wear. I have to try to wear this one because I like the rose gold one better. Let me see something. Telling you, bro, like I really don't even care about this stuff no more, man. I wear my Apple Watch probably more than anything. Am I becoming a minimalist? I don't know about that. I just don't care as much anymore about certain things. You know what I'm saying? I like the rose gold one better than the regular gold one. I actually like this one better. Let me wear this one. It's the one I had started off with. But dude, how many? I mean, you understand? Like, how many do you need? You like the rose better too? How many do you need? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I'm kind of going through this mindset thing, this mindset shift where it's like, it's not as important. What difference do it make? I like my real estate. I like those better than all of this stuff. Like this. Honestly, I don't care about like this type of stuff as much. I like having one watch, and then I like to have the Apple Watch as an alternative. You know what I'm saying, for when I'm sleeping or when I'm training or whatever. And then I just like property. I like real estate. I like property. I don't care about none of this stuff. So I'm gonna figure it out. Like I was looking through when I got all of this stuff. I don't know. Maybe it just be maybe me right now or whatever. But let me share this story with y'all really quickly. Off subject. How's the Cybertruck treating you? I haven't driven it. I went and put the Hellcat up yesterday, and I went and got a different car. But I don't want to drive the Cybertruck until after I get it wrapped a different color, because I want to go with the black. I want to go all black. It's all white right now, and now I want to go all black. I haven't driven it in 6 months, 7 months. I haven't driven it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just got stuff just for the sake of having stuff. And it's like, I want to get the right stuff now. It's not so much about becoming a minimalist. It's not so much about, I'm telling you, bro, it probably need an update. Probably need an update. It's right there. Yep, I got to get the software update. I ain't even did a software update lately. I got to do the software update. Let me update it right now. Update it. Yep, it's gonna take 55 minutes. I'm about to do a software update. I ain't even opened up the app lately. So I'm gonna figure it out, bro. Honestly, I want the right stuff now. I don't really want a lot of stuff. I just want the right stuff. So I don't care about it as much. Shout out to you, Donnell. Right Path Good says, pray for Chicago Bulls, Jaden Ivey. Hey, I'm gonna talk about it in a minute. Let me see something. Shout out to Jaden Ivey. I'm gonna talk about it. I might have a different take than y'all want me to have on that one. What has higher value, Cartier or Rolex? Rolexes hold their value more. Most of the time, it's the watch. It's not just the brand. So you got to look at it from that lens. But if you just want to have something to hold its value, so like for example, if I was to sell all of these, I could pretty much get what I paid for them, even though I've been enjoying them for a long time. I gave a couple of them away. I did give a couple of them away. I gave my daughter one, gave some friends one, gave some cars away, and now I'm just trying to figure out what the rest of what I want my life. Because like I'll give you an example. Yas kid. Next year, I'll probably, not next year, this upcoming winter. So starting in November, October, November, I was thinking about it, right? And I got these Pistons tickets. So I'll pay $110,000 a year for Pistons tickets. I got a bunch of cars and a bunch of trucks. I got like 12 cars and trucks or whatever. And if I'm gone in the winter, because I'm spending time in warmer climates in the wintertime and in the fall and in part of the spring, and I don't come back until, let's say, April, right? Or May. What was the point of having these tickets? So that means I got tickets and I'm not even going to be in town to come to the games. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like, what's the point of having all of these cars? And I went and got my Navigator yesterday. I switched my cars from the Hellcat to the Navigator. And so I got to figure out what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, my lifestyle and what I plan to do going forward in the future may not align with what my lifestyle currently is today. So I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to do all of that. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Oh, snaps. Oh, no, that's tomorrow. All right, wait for the Patreon. I'm not going to push that today because I'm going to push it tomorrow, because the best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. So it's literally the end of the month. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I've been begging Anton for the last 3 seasons now to cancel those Pistons tickets. They're wasting to be giving the tickets away for like 30 or 41 But the games I do go to, I have a good time. Five Brown. It looks like options. It's good to have options. Most people only have one option. And see, that's the part where they're missing. A lot of people say, well, it's a waste. Well, it's not necessarily a waste because it's the thing that I wanted to do at the time that I did it. You know what I'm saying, Chris? So anyways, we're going to figure that out. I'm thinking that I might just have like one electric car and one exotic, or one, like maybe I'll just have 3 cars instead of 12. You get one everyday car. I think a good electric car is a good everyday car. And then you get one old school, you know what I'm saying, or something that's a little bit more American. Got to have something American. It don't matter if it's a Corvette, if it's a Hellcat, if it's something like that, right? Maybe you get a Mustang GTD. A lot of people don't know nothing about that. That's it right there, the Mustang GTD. And then you get one exotic, you know what I'm saying? You're like, I'm going to get the Lamb, and then you call it a day and you just rock out like that. So, yep. No, I like the Cybertruck. I just haven't had time to drive it. I like my, I ain't never had a Subaru, Five Brown. You got jokes. And I got a motorcycle too that I don't ride. So I ain't never had a Subi ever. A GTD, a Mustang GTD. Y'all ain't never seen a Mustang GTD? Oh my God. I got to put y'all up on everything, man. Let me see. I got to put y'all up on everything. Yeah, Forrest is a good example of it. He could probably give a better.
Me is the most expensive street legal Mustang ever. So this is the Mustang GTD, and it's basically a street legal version of the GT3 race car. In the front, you get this massive splitter. I get dive planes, magnesium wheels, carbon ceramic brakes, and these fenders to help get air out of the wheel well. In the back, you get this massive swan neck wing with a drag reduction system. And if you're wondering what these vents are for, it's to cool your transmission which is in the trunk. Under your fully carbon fiber hood, you get a supercharged V8 that makes 815 horsepower. I can also remove this mesh to help hot air escape unobstructed and to make sure it sounds good. You get an Akrapovic exhaust. And when you put it into track mode, it lowers.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's it right there. It's a track car. It's a track car. But again, you got to be a car person to really understand it. So it's a little different for people that don't get it, but you know. But that's what I'm saying. I like American cars too. Nah, AD, keep the 12. It sound like doubt setting in. But I don't. Okay, well at least if I'm gonna keep the rotation, because I love cars, so I don't mind keeping cars. I don't care about watches and stuff no more as much. If I'm gonna keep a rotation, then it's got to be a certain type of cars. I need a GTR, right? I need I gotta have a Hellcat. Maybe I'll get a GNX or just a Grand National, regular Grand National. You know, it's got to be certain cars. It don't have to just be all new cars is what I'm saying. So I do like Beamers. My daughter got the M3 Comp. So she already got a bunch of work done to it though. So you said A on the Hellcat? Nah, bro, you don't understand, Chris. The Hellcat is gonna be like the 96 Impala. It's gonna be like the 96 Impala, bro. It is. It's a classic. It's a current classic. I gotta have a GT3 RS for my Porsche files, you know. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm on right now. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to some of the show. Enough of the foolishness. The first thing that I want to talk about, and there's a lot of foolishness out here because the first part of the show may be foolishness, is a story that somebody sent me today.
Now charged as second person in an apparent domestic dispute where the killer shot down another man execution style. According to arrest documents, the second person charged was the victim's former lover who ordered his killing. David Hamilton reports.
This picture of victim Anthony Wesley Jr. shows his love of family.
He was a great guy. Like I said, everyone loved him. It was nothing. It's not too much bad to say because you know how you say, you pray for a certain type of man and you finally get it. That's what it was.
East Baton Rouge sheriff investigators arrested Riddick Franklin for shooting Wesley in the back on March 29th at the Jefferson Lakes Apartments. Then documents say Franklin stood over Wesley and fired several more times. For Harris, she says she'll never forget witnessing that scene.
Well, it happened in front of mine, our apartment. So, I was shocked. I'm traumatized. I still see the image, everything.
Investigators now allege that the shooter, Franklin, was romantically involved with Hope Jackson, the mother of victim Wesley's children, who they've now charged with second-degree murder as well. Court records show Wesley and Jackson were in the middle of a custody dispute. As part of that dispute, court was scheduled for next month. According to the affidavit now charging Jackson with second-degree murder, Jackson told Franklin multiple times she wanted Wesley killed because of a dispute involving child support. Middle of a custody dispute. As part of that dispute, court was scheduled for next month.
Y'all better start being careful who y'all had kids with, bro. This little innocent face, you walking by seeing her every day, she chilling, you know what I'm saying? And this chick is already ordering your killing because you fight. And see, this is the part that people don't talk about. I guarantee you there will be no deep dives into this on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. There will be no deep dive into this on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. You know why it's not going to be no deep dive? Because it doesn't align with the agenda. It doesn't align with the agenda of never getting involved with a good man and all of this other type of stuff, or these men ain't fighting for their kids. So he got to be in a custody dispute because he want to see his kid. So the first thing that comes to my mind is y'all some suckers, bro. Y'all really are suckers in real life. And this is why we say no simps allowed. This dude, all right, this is the first guy. This is the first corporate. The first person that we got to say, you know what? This is why we don't believe in being step crash dummies. She was her box that good that you felt like you need to go out and kill her baby daddy? You getting involved in between a domestic dispute between the woman and her baby daddy? You really went out there and really you had a whole conversation. Simp of the year. Facts. Thank you. Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. Y'all really pillow talking with these chicks, and this is why I say Dirty Macs are dangerous. Dirty Macs are the most dangerous beings on the face of the earth. This is why when I see certain people and they be inside of my chat and they de-watching, they trying to figure out who you with. Hey man, and you sleeping dudes that be wishing for your downfall, your demise. They want to see you break up. They want to see the family. I watch those dudes like hawks. You got to keep your head on the swivel for them type of dudes, man. Dudes that's always trying to figure it out. I be watching to see who trying to follow my chick and all of that type of stuff. Because, man, I don't trust these type of guys, man. He's the most dangerous men on the face of the earth. They sitting there, and the girl, she ain't even got to say nothing to you. All she got to do is give you a little bit of loving, and then you ready to crash out. You don't even know that man. You ain't never seen, you won't even know him. You know him from the pictures on her phone. And he went out there and crashed out over another man for a chick that ain't even his, because another man is fighting with your chick that you with right now to see his kid. I watch these type of guys all the time. They exist in every shape, fashion, form. Light skin, dark skin, short hair, long hair, dreads, bald head, tall, short, skinny, fat, south, north, east, west, black, white. They all come in different shapes and sizes. Thugs, nerds. They come in all packages, and they ready to crash out for a chick that they just met. They willing to put their whole life on the line and do time. Man, do you know, if I ever in my life was sitting there next to a chick and she said, man, I just need you to kill my, because see, I bet you she didn't even ask him. She probably just mentioned it. She probably was just like, yo, man, I hate my baby daddy. I just want to kill him. And he was probably like, yeah, oh yeah, word. What'd he do? She put the seed in his head, and then she after planting the seed, he probably just started having a conversation, making it make sense in his mind, and then this dude went over there and killed somebody. What up, Onaka? Bro, guys are out here killing for basic chicks. Basic box, basic chicks. For her. For her. You going to jail for the rest of your life for her. Crazy, man. Crazy. And that's, again, when y'all sit there and say, these guys don't want this guy fighting for his life. He up there taking family photos. They got the pajamas on. That's how you know a person is a good person, because they did the family photos. They did the pajama jam. The pajama jam. Good. Gosh.
Mother of victim Wesley's children, who they've now charged with second-degree murder as well. Court records show Wesley and Jackson were in the middle of a custody dispute. As part of that dispute, court was scheduled for next month. According to the affidavit now charging Jackson with second-degree murder, Jackson told Franklin multiple times she wanted Wesley killed because of a dispute involving child support. The affidavit alleged
over some child support, fam. Because he was fighting for his kid, and the only reason you was fighting him back is because you wanted to maintain child support and get more child support for him.
Jackson told Franklin, quote, "I want him OV." Authorities say OV is street slang for eliminating or killing someone.
It's shocking because, you know, these are your kids' father. And why would you want to put the kids through that?
Harris mourns not only...
Look at this man. Look at this man. That's a good man, Savannah.
Wesley's death, but that this dispute escalated to such violence.
Oh, and Anthony could have talked it over and maybe, you know, came to a conclusion or whatever it was that they had going on with the kids. Like, it didn't have to come to this. He didn't have to lose his life.
In addition to second-degree murder, the accused gunman, Franklin, faces charges of illegal use of a firearm, possession of a firearm, and obstruction of justice. Hope Jackson was booked in jail facing second-degree murder charges.
It's so sad. It's so sad, bro. You got a whole family ripped apart. Now the dad is gone and the dad is dead and the mother is in jail and in prison. So she basically ain't got no biological parents left. And this is how we put generational curses on people. This is how we put generational curses on people, bro. How can you hate somebody so much that you had a child with? The community is smoked, bro. The community is smoked.
An exclusive follow-up to a story that sparked outrage across Los Angeles. The woman we first showed you living inside a storm drain has now been identified by her family. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf joining us now after speaking with her loved ones.
Yeah, Susan, this really is heartbreaking. They're sharing pictures and videos from better times, revealing the person behind the headlines they're trying to get back.
If I could take back the past.
A voice once full of life,
Some guy walked out.
now hard to understand.
I was only paying like $400 and I told him I'm going to buy
How did she get in the situation that she's in?
drugs.
Loved ones say this woman is 43-year-old Jamila Robinson.
That's a hard 43. That's a hard 43. When you look like that, honestly, they stole your soul. A lot of people don't know that. They think it's just drugs. Nah. Those is demons. They stole your soul. That's it. Listen. The only way that you could exist in a space that is that downtrodden and you have a choice to not to is that you don't have no more soul. It's not just the drugs. It's everything surrounding it that led up to it in the first place. You don't live in a storm drain purposely unless you've lost your soul. I'm just telling you, bro. It's a real thing. It's a real thing, bro. I know that y'all like it. Listen, y'all listen to the rappers, Molly Percocet. All of this gateway drugs. Y'all smoking all of this nonsense. Spike with Fenty. I know I see it's a rise in coke. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I didn't even know that black people did coke like that. I found out the other day that coke is heavy. Y'all think y'all white. Y'all think y'all white in the 70s and the 80s. Y'all think y'all white in the 70s and the 80s. I found out the other day that people be straight up doing coke. I said, y'all doing coke? I'm talking about hood people. They doing coke, bro. I was like, I didn't know y'all was on the white. Black people is on coke. And of course the Fenty is in it. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. Black people doing meth now too? Shh. Man, it's people that's testing positive for cocaine out here, bro. I didn't know that y'all was, I thought that, man, listen, it's so bad now that if you just do trees, you regular. Like if you just smoke regular trees from the dispensary, you a regular person. We used to look at that as like, oh man, like back when we was younger, oh man, they smoke, man, I don't know about that. They said don't do drugs. They said say no to drugs. Now they doing coke, meth, Molly, Oxy, syrup. I was like, bro, y'all doing everything out here, bro. Y'all need to chill out. Y'all need to chill out. Like, slow down, big dog. It's a real thing, man. It's a real thing in real life, man. And it's still, this is how you know it stole your soul. Look at the person on the left and look at the person on the right, man. Look at the person on the left and look at the person on the right. The person on the left is full of life. The person on the right don't have no soul no more, bro. They zombies. They walking around. That's why they talk to themselves. They see things. They move real fast like they going somewhere and they don't got nowhere to go.
A mother of 3.
She's a wonderful person, a loving person.
We first found her last week in South LA, living in a storm drain.
When I viewed it, it just so happened to be my sister, and that's how I found out about her living situation.
Her sister, Camila, hadn't seen her in years. Were you surprised when you saw what she was?
She was fine stuff. Slim, thick. All of that, man.
Her sister
living in a doghouse. That's a doghouse, man.
Camila hadn't seen her in years. Were you surprised when you saw what she was living in?
No.
Well, their mother, Linda, says she speaks with Jamila almost every day.
It's the second time she's been in the sewer. The one up on Winters, it was like 20 of them over there.
20 in one sewer?
In one sewer. They had to cover it up.
Last week, Fox 11 first exposed the underground encampment where Jamila climbed in and out, not willing to say much on camera. Below ground, human waste, trash, and an overpowering stench. I gotta get back. As a mom,
I'm dying. I'm dead. I tried, Matthew. I've done everything I was told. As long as she could tell me no, or tell the courts no, that she didn't want the help, they couldn't help her.
Within 24 hours of our exclusive report, the city moved in. Hazmat crews declaring it a hot zone. The next day, sealing the drain shut with asphalt. Wednesday, the last time we saw Jamila, outreach teams offering help as she walks away.
I'm saddened to see that she just walks away like that. Would love to see them be more forceful in help.
Y'all the family. Y'all can't even get her together. What you mean being more forceful? You can't make nobody do nothing.
Being her.
Just take her. Because she's not mentally able to think straight for herself.
If it was a daughter or sister or mother of the mayor's, where is such a place that she would take them? Right. Instead of just allowing them to walk away, forcefully come to them and say, hey, I'm here to help you.
The woman once known for singing, now still out there.
I know it's hard sometimes.
while her family's fighting to find her voice again.
I couldn't get the courts to see the mentalness in her. Now the world can see the mentalness in her. And maybe I can get the help that I need and she needs now.
I would want to tell her that I love you, Jamila, and that I am here standing and speaking on your behalf, and that I want to fight for them, for the city, for the mayor to not just give up on you, but to actually pour into you where you are unable to pour into yourself.
Jamila has...
It's messed up, bro. It's messed up. So messed up. And a lot of these chicks is getting turned out. A lot of these chicks is getting turned out, and their life is upside down, and it just goes from there. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Matthew Washington says, blessings to you and your fam. I'm eventually need a Money Talk throwback episode with the shoes in the background. I ain't got no shoes here. I ain't got one. Replace the shoes with plaques. You know what I'm saying? Matty Plays PC says they shouldn't be charged with first-degree murder. This was all planned out. 392Q says, this came back from San Antonio for 2 weeks. You got to go visit AD. I caught a couple of Spurs games and hit the Riverwalk thinking about moving there. You thinking about moving to San Antonio? Might have to go check it out. I might have to check it out. Terrence says, hey, Anton, hope all is well. Did you see Roland Martin's video about me yesterday? I don't know how anyone can refute what you've been saying about the Dems. This is the first time that I heard about it. Roland Martin's video about me. Well, let's see what he's talking about. Was it live? Was it? Y'all should just send it to me. Y'all shouldn't. How do y'all even see this stuff? Where's the video? How do you have 1.2 thousand views on a 2-hour live stream? Y'all should just y'all should just email it to me. Y'all got me out here searching and trying. I ain't about to do all of this, bro. Y'all send it to me, man, and then I'll check it out. I don't know what it is, so y'all got to send it to me. I don't know what it is, so. I forgot to call him out. That go to his video on the thumbnail on the second one. What video on the thumbnail on the second one? Chili got some explaining to do. This one?
This weekend was absolutely.
Let me see. You said a 4-minute mark, huh? All right. Let's see what we got.
Stupid, crazy, outlandish. First and foremost, we find a story gets posted saying that Chili from TLC is MAGA. That she made in her name that matched her legal name in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Just saying, that might be impacting some ticket sales for the tour that's going on. So we'll see what happens with that. Then, of course, my goodness, Stephen A. Smith, he interviews this black conservative, Anton Daniels, and you know, I really gets on my nerves when these.
I'm glad that he got my name right.
Black conservatives tout stuff that Trump did for black people. That's a lie. And I saw this, and go ahead and play it.
When you decided to support Trump in 20, was it the teacher?
Making HBCU funding permanent, which is a lie. He touted opportunity zones when they actually cannot present me. And when Trump was here the first time, I hit the Trump White House asking for documentation that proves the opportunity zones has actually benefited black people in low income.
So he wants proof that it benefited black people. Okay. Well, we could dispute the first one. He's just giving his opinion on the second one.
Income people. That was a black preacher who was at the announcement at the White House from Baltimore. He came on the show. He spoke at the announcement of the opportunity zones. He came on the show. And 6 months later, he came on and said it wasn't working for black people and low-income people. So when I hear people like Anton say that, it's a lot. First of all, Donald Trump did not have permanent funding for HBCUs. That was a program, a $250 million program that was created under President George W. Bush. It was continued under President Barack Obama. It expired. The bill was sponsored by Congresswoman Alma Adams of North Carolina, who was the co-chair of the HBCU caucus. Trump didn't know shit about this bill, y'all. He had no idea. It's a $250 million bill, okay? Only $85 million of the $250 million goes to HBCUs. The rest goes to his Hispanic serving institutions. That's the only thing that was made permanent. So when someone sits there and goes, well, Trump made permanent funding for HBCUs, but then you don't actually tell the rest of the story, then you're just sitting here making up some shit. That's what you're doing. But we know the facts. And the reality is $17 billion went to HBCUs under Biden-Harris. Fact.
So let me give y'all a little bit of insight on what's going on with Biden-Harris, all right? Because a lot of times these guys say stuff to try to justify the fact that they're still on a Democrat plantation, but they really don't know what they're talking about. So if we want to talk about Trump with the HBCUs, then you can go and Google that and you can research that yourself. That's nothing for me to have to go back and forth with people about. The information is out there. It's available for everybody. You can do that. When you're talking about the $17 billion from Biden, right? And you don't have to take my word for it. We can deep dive into it. I'll actually pull it up. Maybe I should do a whole breakdown on this, like a whole segment and a whole show about this. So I was talking about this with somebody, and I was actually going through a debate with this on somebody, right? So when we talk about permanent funding versus a one-time funding, and I actually gave Biden credit for this. And this is the interesting thing about it. It's like, it's not a compare and contrast. It's an and or, right? So when you really start to break it down and you deep dive into it, and you say, well, what exactly did he do? Okay. So, of course, you got to say total support. They're going to use this one broad number. They're going to say $17 billion, right? When you deep dive into it, they're going to say an additional $1.3 billion in funding, including $188 million for research and development, $1.1 billion for student-based need, right? That's not going towards HBCUs. Research and development, for example, is one-time fees, one-time funding. A lot of times, a lot of different institutions, including Ivy Leagues and the University of Michigan, and so many different institutions get research and funding. All right. So let's continue to go down. The Department of Education discharged approximately $1.6 billion in capital financing debt for 45 HBCUs, allowing them to redirect resources to campus improvements. They counted that as a part of what they gave to HBCUs. So basically what they did was, you know how Biden was saying that, yo, student loan forgiveness, so on and so forth, blah, 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 so on and so forth. That's exactly what they did. They're allowing for them to not have to pay back certain monies. And so they added that as a part of what they then distributed to HBCUs to boost the number up. All right. COVID funds. All right. Nearly $3.7 billion was provided through the American Rescue Plan and other pandemic relief to help institutions safely operate and support student needs. So when you start to go through the actual amounts and what they used it for, this was not for HBCU funding so that they can continue to educate students and do well for students. These were one-time funding opportunities, similarly to how they got it from the states, right? A lot of the budgets that you see happening within the Black communities, or really cities that are urban, that has the majority of urban community and Black people in it, like a Chicago, like a Los Angeles, they instituted that into the budget, but it didn't necessarily affect people in a positive way that went to the institution. They gave $3.7 billion. What you should be asking yourself is, well, if they gave that through the American Rescue Plan and other pandemic relief to help safely operate and support student needs, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? So I'm not going to deep dive into it. I'm already intimately familiar with this. I've researched this subject extensively. So I'm not going to spend my time on it right now, because you know what's so funny? You know what's so interesting? And I can appreciate Roland Martin. Let me tell you why I can appreciate Roland Martin right now. The reason why I can appreciate Roland Martin is because now they want to start paying attention when the motion is too big for them to ignore. And so we've been bringing them to the front of the congregation for a while now. But they have tried to act like that I wasn't a force. Now that I'm one of the foremost voices, especially when you're talking about a Black conservative that can hold these suckers accountable, now everybody is starting to get their panties in a bunch. Now they're starting to get a little bit upset, right? Because wait a minute, he got a little too motion. He getting a little too big for his britches. And so just like, you know, how they used to do at the plantations and slavery, you got to make sure, hey, wait a minute, we got to get that boy. We got to get him. It's funny because when I was calling out Roland Martin for a debate before, they act like they didn't know who I was. Now they want to start paying attention and having a conversation about it. You know why? Because I have a bigger impact on what's going on in the culture and the community than they do, because they the old guard. It's the old guard. Young people are no longer listening to people like Roland Martin. They've aged out. They stopped growing. There is no more motion. Nobody cares about what these people think anymore. Funny, they never face me, ever. None of them. None of these people that have a platform. Listen, I'm not going, here's the thing. Here's the thing about me. I'm not going to go back and forth, because if you want to see me, then invite me on the show. I'll come to your city, your show, your platform, whatever you want to do. We don't have to go back and forth, but this shows me that they ain't got the motion that they thought that they had no more. It's the old guard. We done with them. We're done with these people. We're done with them. I ain't never debated Roland Martin. I ain't never talked to Roland Martin a day in my life. I ain't never talked to Roland Martin. But now the rules of engagement have changed. But let me hear the rest of what he got to say. It's unfair for me to dismiss him without hearing the entirety of his argument.
Y'all notice none of these Black conservatives can ever give you the actual number, the dollars that went to HBCUs under Trump. I wonder why. Because they know they're lying. So I would love for Senator Tim Scott, who always touts opportunity zones, to present for me the data. Show me the data of where opportunity zones have been a panacea for Black people.
and low-income people. Oh, they've been great for developers, but not for the people they were intended for.
Is that the end of it? Interesting. You know, let me give y'all a little bit of insight, right? Let me give y'all a little bit of insight. According to CNN, Brookings, and Capital B News, just to cite a few sources, Donald Trump's administration. Well, we're not even going to talk about this year, right? Because what he's talking about is the previous year, right? So, in this bill, you know what? Let me save it. Let me save it. Hold off. We're gonna hold off. We're gonna prevent it. We just gonna put a little bit of spice out there. Yeah, that was Boyce Watkins you're talking about. We just gonna put a little bit of spice out there, and we just gonna we gonna let it rock. If any of y'all want to debate, hey, notice how he didn't speak, because I had a whole conversation. Let me show y'all something real quick. Notice how he never addressed, nor did he speak on the fact that I said that Barack Obama specifically never did anything for black people. They skipped over that part. Notice how I said that Barack Obama, when he first came into office, more or less aligned with Trump's policies. And then by the time that he left office, he actually had done an enormous amount for the alphabet community. But he had never did anything specifically for black people. And I didn't even throw Obama under the bus. I gave him a little bit of credit. I said that I didn't care for Bush and what he did, and Obama had inherited a mess. But the fact of the matter is that he skipped right over that part, and he tried to dispute the idea that Trump gave permanent funding to HBCUs. And he tried to justify the fact that he had completely ignored Obama by then highlighting exactly what Biden had did. Now, again, nobody thinks that Biden did a bad thing by contributing, but we have to go through the numbers and we have to break it down. See, I'm willing to do the research. I'm willing to understand it. What Roland don't understand is that I've already studied him. I've studied him. I've studied Don. I've studied Joy. I've studied them all. I've already studied them. I know everything about them that there is to know. I know what their debate tactics are. I know how they pivot. I know how they do all of that stuff. He don't want no smoke. None of them want no smoke. They pick and choose their targets carefully because they feel like they can't defend themselves. I'm not that. I ain't got nothing but time, money, energy to pick you apart. I will do a 4-hour live stream and debate with you in real time, and I will pick your whole life. Not your life like as far as your personal life. No, God bless you on that. I hope everything goes well in your personal life. I will pick apart every single thing that you stand for when it comes to your political stance and how that does not align with what's best for black people or America in general. At any point, listen, I'm not going to sit here and make video after video. I'm done with that. I got bigger fish to fry. But at any point, if any of y'all at any point want to do something when it comes to this political debate, I will wash you, I will wash your friends, and I will wash anybody that is associated with you. I will destroy you. And that is a promise. That's my unofficial invite to you. My goal is to break the Democratic Party all the way down, especially as it got this hold on black people. Your best course of action, and I don't care if you're Roland Martin or any of these people, is to walk away. Keep on pandering over to the people that you already got in support of you, because you're not going to get any more motion than you already got. We done with y'all. The culture is over. It's over. It's over. I don't need no help. I'm not funded by nobody. I ain't never took no money like you did from your political donors to support Kamala Harris. I ain't never got a dime from the Trump administration. Ain't never got a dime from Israel. Ain't never got a dime from a PAC. Ain't never been sponsored. Ain't never been interested in taking no money from nobody. I'm my own entity, independent, individual thinker for myself. I can't say the same for you, Sharpton, or any of y'all. All y'all in the go along, get along game. And you in your little demonic fraternity too. Yeah, I know all about I know everything there is to know about your life. Don't nobody care nothing about that, bro. I don't care. I am ordained by God to destroy everything. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Or don't. Because what's going to happen is what's going to happen. Y'all funded by the go along, get along game. I don't care nothing about y'all. At any point, and see you, and you know why they fear? You know why they in so much fear? Is because not only am I intelligent enough to actually debate and shut down any talking point that they have, because again, they pick and choose their targets very carefully. They go after people, they go after celebrities, they go after the Chili's, they go after the performers. Nah. I'm not that. We different over here. So I'll be your huckleberry. I'll be a huckleberry. I'll take that in an instant. I'll jump at that opportunity in an instant. I'll be a huckleberry. One by one. And again, I don't have no personal attacks as far as like, I know everybody else do that. We on different time over here. We on different time right here. So anyways, God bless you and your demonic fraternities. Let me see what else is going on in these streets. Let's see a discussion between you and Roland Martin shut down the lies. I'm up. I'm game. Let's get it. Carrington Love Jr. says, proud of you, Anton. Keep growing, keep it clean. I will always have a $5,000 fine for you if things get tricky. No, I'm chilling. This is 100%. I ain't on no negative energy, no none of that. I actually celebrate good debate. Obviously, you seen how me and my dog Stephen A. Smith's conversation went. It was 100% respectful. 100% respectful. I got no negative energy for anything. Go talk to that's low-hanging fruit. That's low-hanging fruit. I don't care about that. I'm not into that. I'm from the future. UConn Spurs both wins the title. Yeah, okay. Well, if you was, and you would have more than $20 on it. Anyways, but I get it. I mean, it's the popular thing to talk about. They feel like they losing grip on what's going on inside of the culture. It makes sense. Let me see something really quickly. I just want to check something. He doing big numbers though. Let me see something. Roland Martin, Social Blade. He does really good numbers. He does 300,000 a day, 400,000 a day. His daily average is about 400,000 views a day. His weekly average, why is his weekly average 400,000 views? Last 30 days, he did numbers. He did almost 12 million, 11,896,000 views. Last 14 days, he did 5.6 million views. That's impressive. That's super impressive. Let me look at Anton Daniels really quick. 900,000 on my lowest, 1.5, 1.5, 1.8, 1.6, 1.7 million. Daily average, 1.7 million views. Weekly average, I don't know why that's off because both of ours is off. Last 30 days, I did 51 million views. Last 14 days, I did 27 million views. That's on one channel. It's just one channel. So when we talk about motion, again, when we talk about impact, when we talk about who's going to impact and influence the next culture, the next generation, the future, then we got to start really understanding what's happening. We got to understand what's happening. We're not the same. We just not, I mean, honestly, we're just not the same. We're in different spaces. I ain't never took a dime from nobody. I ain't never took a dime from nobody. I am 100% independent. I am 100% independent. I have never taken, ain't nobody ever bought me off. Nobody has ever bought me off in life. I have never taken a dime from any entity, any political campaign, anybody on the left, anybody on the right. I don't even entertain it. So don't ever put that on me. Maybe you can put that on somebody else, but ain't nobody ever bought me off. You have to reach out to, I ain't reaching out to nobody. I'm the A side. Why would I reach out to somebody and I'm the A side? Didn't I just show you the data? The statistics? When I come on other people's platforms, it got motion. I am the algorithm. Why would I reach out to anybody? I'm the algorithm. I'm not interested in reaching out. I am the reach. Shout out to 1999 Red Nose says, I love the interview with Stephen A. Smith. Much respect from PG County. Merlin. I'm the algorithm. S. Dresden says, no commies, no demons. Jesus Christ is the truth. I'm not even sure if these people believe in God. I don't even know if they acknowledge Jesus. I don't even know if they acknowledge Jesus. Honestly, Dresden, I don't believe that they acknowledge Jesus. I'm keeping it 100 with you, bro. Shout out to my girl Dolores says, I love and admire you, Mr. Anton. I love and admire you too. I admire you too. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Multiple different shows. 3 shows in a row. Man, I got to talk to him. Man, I got to talk to him. I want to get him on my show. When I was ready and I said, all right, I'm going to be out in California, I paid homage, sent the $500 super chat, said, hey, man, check your stuff. Let's get it popping. I didn't reach out to them. It was the other way around. Come on, man. Y'all better get it together. I better get it together, bro. I ain't saying nothing but facts, and everybody in here know what the facts are. Nothing but facts. I'm chilling. Back to our regularly scheduled program. We got a live stream to do over here. All right. We got a live stream. Shout out to El Mont. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for holding it down. Said, do you, bro? Always. We're going to keep doing us. The network's got to pay attention to me because I'm the one that do 50 million views. Minimum. Why? That's why they all in my inbox. That's why they reaching out to my people. Hey, you got an agent? Bro, I get inboxes every day, connections all day long. But you think they ain't reaching out? But you think I'm gonna take a Rory and Mal deal? You think I'm gonna take a Rory and Mal deal? I ain't taking that slave contract. Get out of here with that. I mean, and I mean, shout out to them. That's good for them. I think that's dope for them. You think I'm about to take that? Man, get out of here with that nonsense, bro. I ain't taking these slave contracts, selling my soul, selling my platform short. I ain't taking these slave contracts, bro. Get out of here with that. Why would I ever do that? Why would I ever sell my platform short and sell my people short? If they got 10, what you think I can get? Why would I take a slave contract? Listen, this real talk, and we got to get to the regularly scheduled program. I was at the gas station, and it was a news anchor. It was a white lady, and then it was a black camera guy. And they said, "Oh my God!" They was from the news station here. He said, "Oh my God, we watch you every day. We check you out." So I was talking to the Snow Bunny, and I was like, the guy was like, "Yo, we trying to figure out how to be like you." Now, he wasn't speaking for the news station. He was speaking for them, the anchor, the lady, and him. Anton Daniels as a brand is an asset now. Anton Daniels as a brand is an asset now. My name does numbers. It just is what it is. When I walk into the arena, the Jumbotron says, "And we got Anton Daniels in the building." It's just the facts, man. And this ain't even me. This ain't even me talking that talk. Yeah, you know me. I could talk my talk. And I built this from scratch. Crazy question, says 1999 Red Nose, says, how do you feel about Tariq's Hidden Color series and 19 Key situation? All right, I'm going to speak specifically to that. Y'all paid y'all money, so y'all want to know exactly what my thoughts are, right? I have never seen Tariq Nasheed's Hidden Colors, and I do not know anything about 19 Key situation. That's the honest to God truth. I can't speak to something I've never seen. And I don't know the other guy. I've never met him, and I don't know what his situation is. So I can't speak to it. I would love to answer your question a little bit more in depth and thorough, but I've never seen it before. So shout out to you. Appreciate you for the question. All right, y'all, we got to get into some other stuff. Let's get into this Jaden Ivey conversation. Shall we? Y'all asking what happened to 19 Keys, just like I don't know nothing about it. Shall we? Jaden. Is it on my other computer? Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. Give me a second. Jaden Ivey. All I want is you. Oh, here it is. I got it. Here it is. I got it. All I want is you now. Jaden Ivey. All right, so let me preface this with y'all by saying that Jaden Ivey is an NBA player. And he is a former Piston. He was drafted by the Pistons. He got traded, if I'm not mistaken, over to the Chicago Bulls. Recently, the Chicago Bulls released him. Now, when he was on the Pistons, he was a very, very good, promising young prospect. He came in around a time with Jalen Duren, and he got injured, though. He had a horrific injury, so that was last year. He's been nursing that injury, and so he's kind of come back, and he's kind of still been rehabbing, but they've been limiting his minutes. But he's a pretty explosive guard, okay? I've been following his career. I know kind of what he's on. You know what I'm saying? I haven't talked to him like one-on-one, but, I've dapped him up a couple times just because I was sitting courtside, but nothing major. But Jaden Ivey was recently released by the Chicago Bulls for conduct detrimental to the team. Conduct detrimental to the team. What is the conduct that was detrimental to the team? And I'm going to read that super chat shortly. What is the conduct detrimental to the team that he was released for? Well, that's what we're here to discuss. Let me go ahead and play a little bit of this for y'all, and then we're going to get into it.
That the world can proclaim LGBTQ. Right? They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month, to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it. They proclaim it on the billboards. They proclaim it in the streets. Unrighteousness. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How is it one that how are they to say that you man, this man is crazy? Don't we all, doesn't even the world make judgments on certain things? So how is it when the gospel is preached that people hate it? That people don't want to hear it, and they think it's strange when someone preaches the gospel, the true gospel. God did not make a man to be with a man. How God did not make a girl to be with a girl. God made a man for the purpose of procreation, to have another child. How can a woman bear a child with a woman? How? Unless they go to the doctor and it can't happen physically. They have the same body part. They cannot bear children unless they get something done. Right? So God didn't make that to be God didn't make a woman for a woman. No, he made a woman for the man. That's exactly what God made. He made things good. He made the trees. He made the sun. If the sun was ever closer, we would burn. But he made it in the proper place so that we get the proper light in the day. He made the grass. He gave us water to drink. If we didn't have water to drink, we would be dehydrated.
God is faithful.
All right, so I'm gonna play a second video. He actually did 2 Instagram posts. I'm gonna play the second video, but let's start there for a second. Jaden Ivey is 24 years old. Let me add the full context before I tell you what my perspective is. Jaden Ivey is 24 years old. He's still young. Most NBA players, young NBA players, are super young. Cade is young. Jalen Duren is young. A lot of people are young. So y'all gonna have to give him some grace when y'all saying, well, he can't articulate himself as well or whatever. He's young. Of course, I'm going to be able to articulate myself a little bit more. I talk for a living, number one. And number two, I'm 43. He's 24. Almost double his age, for example, right? Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Is Jaden Ivey wrong, and should he have been released for conduct detrimental to the team? That is the question. And most people are not going to be able to break it down to you from both lenses, from the team and the NBA's perspective and from Jaden Ivey's perspective. And this is where we differ. This is where we make our money. This is where the big dogs play right here. All right? This is where the big dogs play. So let's look at it from both lenses. The Christians and the people that believe in Jesus, myself, is going to say he did nothing wrong. And he didn't. He didn't do anything wrong at all. He didn't say anything that was out of pocket. He didn't disrespect anybody. As a matter of fact, what he said, for the most part, was facts. Men shouldn't be with men and women shouldn't be with women. You can't have babies, men having sex with men, so on and so forth, right? It's just the facts. Like, you know, it's refreshing sometimes to see people in popular culture stand for Jesus. And there's no faster way than to get yourself canceled if you stand for Jesus. For me, I love what Jaden Ivey stands for, and I rock with it, right? And so we're going to say that he's being persecuted for righteousness' sake because it's a strong possibility that he's not going to make the type of money that he could have possibly made in the NBA had he kept his mouth shut. Now let's look at it from the business perspective, right? The NBA is hypocritical. It's absolutely hypocritical. But when it comes to being capitalistic, it's okay to be hypocritical. Why? Because Jaden Ivey, as much as we don't like it, is an employee. And when you work for somebody else, you have to abide by the rules, or you can decide not to work for the NBA. That is just the facts. This is not my opinion. Let me bring it back for you, and then we're going to go back into the NBA. When we go to work every day, if there was somebody inside of corporate America that we worked next to in our cubicle and all they kept doing was talking about how good Jesus is, that is true. Jesus is absolutely great, and it's the way. But is that the venue? Is that the time and a place for you to do it? Because we're here to do a job. We got to get these reports together. We got to make sure that we deliver for our clients, and we got to make sure that we take care of business, because the goal is to make money. We're trading in our time for money. And if the employer think it's okay, then cool, have at it. But it's up to their discretion because we're employees. We're at-will employees and nobody owes us a job. If we want to go back over to the NBA, for example, right? Somebody said, but he's on his social media, not at work. Man, don't you know that it's all integrated? People get fired for saying stuff on their social media all the time. I just did a video of a guy that said that he didn't care about the way that his boss that died voted and he got fired. And I said he should have shut his mouth and did his job. So why? Because I'm a Christian, I'm supposed to have a completely different view because I'm supposed to be biased and not look at it objectively because I'm a Christian, right? And your job can look at your social media. As a matter of fact, he's an entertainer, meaning that he's even more of a reflection of the organization that he plays for. So the question that we really asking ourselves is this. We asking ourselves two different questions. Is he right? And should he stand for Jesus? Absolutely. Did he do it properly when it comes to making sure that he continues to get his bag from his employer, which feeds his family? I'm not so sure about that. Jaden Ivey is what we would call a new saint, meaning that he's probably super excited, and we've seen this a lot of times. We've seen it with Ye, we've seen it with Mace, we've seen it with all kind of different people in the entertainment industry when they first really came to the conclusion that God is the greatest all the time. And with new saints in regular life, not just popular culture, with new saints, right? People that just recently gave their life over to God, people that believe in Jesus, people that see the way, you know what? I've been released from my addictions, I've been released from this, whatever, so on and so forth. They get so excited that they don't have any temperance. So the thing that they want to do immediately is they want to go and tell the world. They want to go and talk about it. They want to go and proclaim it. They want to go and teach the word. They want to go and stand for Jesus. They want to proclaim their righteousness. But what does the word say? The word says have temperance in all things. It's a time and a place for all things. If my job is to play basketball and put the ball in the hoop, then I need to be focused on my job, which is to play basketball, which is what they pay me for. They don't pay me for my political perspective. They don't pay me, in the NBA in particular, they don't pay me for my take on religion. They don't pay me for any of that. I 100% stand with Jaden Ivey. As a matter of fact, I said that I stand with Jaden Ivey so much that I think personally, now I can't tell the NBA what to do. The only thing that we can do as Saints is get motion with our dollars. Unfortunately, it's a lot of people that don't like to spend money that call themselves Saints, and so they don't have no motion, right? I've said personally that if I don't see Jaden Ivey back in the NBA, I will completely cancel my season tickets for the next season. I'm already locked in. I've already signed a contract for this year. I stand with Jesus, and so my personal belief is that he should have a job. He should be playing in the NBA, and that he's a good player. And then if he's not on a roster as a 24-year-old, really good player in the NBA starting next year, then I'm willing to forego my season tickets because I just stand with Jaden Ivey and I stand with what's right. But when it comes to, that's my personal choice. But when it comes to whether or not he is doing the right thing as far as there being a time and a place for everything, we got to have a conversation about that. We got to have a conversation about that. What do I say to different NBA players a lot of times when they give their political perspective? What do I say to rappers when they give their political perspective? Hey, man, shut up and rap. We don't want to hear that. I just said it the other day to somebody. What did I say? It was somebody. I said, hey, man, just throw the football, dribble. We don't want to see that. I can't have a different take for Jaden Ivey than I did for Colin Kaepernick. I think that Colin Kaepernick was disrespectful, and he has the freedom to do what you want to do, but you don't have freedom from consequences, especially when you work for somebody else. I can't have a different take just because I align with what he stands for religiously or spirituality. I have to be objective across the board. Do I personally stand with Jaden Ivey? Absolutely. But when you don't own the league and when you're not the team owner and when you're the person that make the paychecks, you make the rules. Me, right? Let's say somebody comes into my organization and they work for me. And then they start saying what they think is best, or they start making it a hostile workplace because they start wanting to spew in their religious rhetoric and they're a Muslim, right? Hey man, I didn't hire you for your political takes. I hired you to make sure that you edited them videos. When you own the company, you make the rules. You can't do what you want to do in somebody else's organization. And I fear that he has blackballed himself. And even though he's right, and even though I stand with him and I'm always hold him down, I fear that his youth and his enthusiasm for Jesus could quite possibly get him put out the NBA. It's just a reality.
And Jesus bless you all.
Now I'm gonna talk about the NBA being hypocritical.
They said my conduct is detrimental to the team, right? Why didn't they just say we don't agree with his?
Somebody said, hold on. Somebody said, forget your organization. It's always coming from somebody that's not gonna make sure that you can feed your 3 kids. He got 3 kids and either a wife or a fiance, and somebody always telling you how you need to forego the bag, but they're not going to be there to support you when everything is all said and done. That's the part that aggravates me, is that everybody always trying to tell you, man, forget the organization, forget the NBA, forget that. Man, you ain't got 3 kids and 24 and going to have to figure out how you can feed your family for the rest of your life.
Stance on LGBTQ. Why didn't they say that? Well, how is it conduct detrimental to the team? What did I do to the team? What did I do to the players? I did nothing but practice with them, play with them, pass the ball to them, good teammate to them. Said good job, good shot. I said good job, good pass. Way to play, bro. Right? I said these things to my teammates. Was never detrimental to them. So why is it that the NBA and the Chicago Bulls say that I'm detrimental to the team? How? Because
the team is more than just your teammates. The team is the entire organization. It's a broad view. It's a broad view. Somebody said, I respect him for calling out lukewarm Steph Curry. Steph ain't got nothing to do with this. Man, don't throw me in your stuff. I ain't got nothing to do with you. I actually don't respect him for naming some other player. Stand on your own. Be your own man. Rock out with you. Don't put me in your mess. Steph got his own journey. He got his own thing going, and his walk with God is his walk with God, and your walk with God is your walk with God. What you mean you respect him for calling out Steph? Y'all always want somebody to call somebody else out. Deal with it your own self. Don't call nobody out, put nobody else into your mess. What you mean? You rock out with him because he called out somebody else. What? That ain't got nothing to do with him. I know I'm gonna say something. This is an unpopular take. Y'all want me to say something different?
Because I believe in the truth. Because I know Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. How? How is my conduct detrimental to the team? Because of what I believe. Because of what the truth is. This is not about me. This is about the kingdom of God. This is about the truth of the Bible. Because I spoke what the truth is. Because I called these things out. because that's what it is. The word of God will be preached to all nations, and then the end will come. That's what's going to happen. My conduct is not detrimental to the team. That is a lie. That is a lie. How is my conduct detrimental to the team? But like I said, like I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to prove. God gave me gifts to play basketball. God gave me gifts. I can play basketball. I'll still be able to play. Lord willing, he gives me an opportunity to play again. And that's fine. If he don't, that's fine. I'm gonna glorify him. But what I've done, like I have nothing to prove. The NBA was what it was. But you see, before I came to the Lord Jesus Christ, the NBA was everything to me. I didn't know God. I didn't know Jesus when I came to the NBA. I was a fornicator. I was a pornography addict. And I used to get drunk.
Yeah, that's not gonna go over well, big dog. That's not gonna play right. I can tell you right now. TMI, you are an extension of the team. And although your testimony is your testimony and it's awesome, and hopefully it can save somebody, that you are a liability when you say stuff like this, because unfortunately, it's a marketable product that they have to put out on the floor in order to sell tickets, and you might be messing up the bag. It's too much. He's saying too much, bro. We mistake people's testimony for the organization's priority in making sure that you get a paycheck. He didn't have to see. He's doing too much, bro. But again, I call this drunk while being a new saint. You drunk off of the opportunity to know Jesus. And a lot of times you don't know how to control yourself. You just want to say what's on your mind. You think that you're doing it and it's all going to work out for you. And a lot of times it's a self-inflicted wound. You're doing too much. And so this is conduct, again, detrimental. It's just a fact. It's conduct detrimental to the team. Real talk. All right, let's look at it from the other lens. NBA players got groupies, right? The same way that there's some NBA players that actually believe in Jesus. Some NBA players are married. Current NBA players can't and do not talk about, and if they do, name me one. And I mean current players that's currently in the league, not after they retire, not after you're doing the Paul Pierce and you got a platform, not all of that stuff. When you are currently in the league, they do not talk about having sex with the hoes. You know why they can't do that? Because they're not trying to mess up the bag. They don't talk about that publicly. That's just the truth. It's just real. Gilbert Arenas is not currently in the league right now. What am I saying? What am I telling y'all? What's the lesson in this? Because there's always a lesson. It's not even just about right or wrong. There's a lesson in this. The lesson is this. It's the same lesson that I tell y'all, and it doesn't matter if you're in the NBA or if you're going into corporate America every day. Shut up. Do your job while you're on company time. When you then exit out of the NBA, or when you doing this, then you can do what you want to do on your own time, especially when it comes to social media. Bro, if you want to talk about Jesus on your own time, in your own privacy, on your home or whatever, or to your friends, or when you go to church or whatever, cool. That's dope. But when you are a product, you are a marketable product, and it's the reason why y'all make millions of dollars, do your job and go home. Unfortunately for him, his job, his responsibility is that they are a product that is on view 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you get into it with an Uber driver on your own time and somebody gets slapped, guess what? They can hold you accountable for that because you're messing up the bag. Even if it's on your own time, his job has a greater requirement for him to be a publicly facing figure. He has a higher expectation to carry himself a certain way, even when it's off the. That's why they made Jordan, man. Listen, bro. Jordan is supposed to have 8 rings. That's the part that we really don't want to talk about, is that Jordan messed up his legacy in a way, and that he would have been undisputed to be the greatest of all time because he would have had 8 straight rings. It was nothing that nobody would. You know what the NBA made him do? Because he had a bunch of off-court issues, they sat him down. It's like, oh man, go play baseball for a couple years. Because what you do off the court also affects how they can market you on the court. And so it don't matter if you're doing good or you're doing bad. If it messes up the bag of the thing that they're trying to market, if they got all of these requirements, they signed these contracts with Amazon and YouTube, and they got all of these new billion-dollar products and stuff, guess what? They cannot have people not doing what they're supposed to do to put on a product. Your goal is to shoot the basketball. You're not supposed to be out here doing all of this extra. If you do, then it's going to be the same thing that it comes to all of the rest of these people. They don't have a responsibility to continue to play that game with you. Mark Jackson, what you doing, bro? We supposed to be talking about basketball. Now, Mark Jackson is dope. He is the foundation of what the Golden State Warriors are today. Mark Jackson should have had 4 rings. But instead, Steve Kerr got 4 rings. You know why? Because Steve Kerr only talk about basketball while he's with the Golden State Warriors. You can't be on your own program on somebody else's dime. That is what I'm trying to tell you. When I was in corporate America, I limited what I would say. A lot of y'all say, Anton, but your earlier videos was this and your earlier videos was that. I had a job. My primary source of income was my businesses and my corporate job. I couldn't come on here and say the stuff that I say to y'all today. I couldn't be as open and direct as I am today. I had to make sure that I PC'd it all the way up because that was the way that I fed my family. When you get to the point to where you can do what you want to do because you don't want to write the paycheck, then you can say what you want to say. Good, bad, or indifferent. You can't do what you want to do when you want to do it on somebody else's dime. That's why I won't take certain sponsorships, because I don't want them sitting there telling me what I can and can't do on my platform and what I got to name it and what I can say and who I can't talk about. I'll be like, nah, I'm straight. You know why? Because I like the freedom that comes along with saying and doing what I want to do. I ain't never held my, yes, I did. Oh man, I was selling, man, Family Guy. That's just the facts. I was only talking about architecture, urban exploration, family stuff. Oh man, this is what life is really about. Oh God, I'm having a daughter. That's what I was on. Take your kid to work day. That's what I was pushing. Take your kid to work day. Let's go and explore a new city. Let's see Grand Rapids. Let's go over to Milwaukee and see what the Pops Brewery is about. Then when I retired in 2019, I was like, all right, it's up. I ain't worried about corporate. I made my money. I can do what I want to do when I want to do it now. So you got to be careful. You have to be careful, bro. He up here talking about, he used to be addicted to porn and all of this other stuff. Nah, man, you can't do that.
That's all I knew. And after a win,
Tavi says you're still censored to a point on this platform too, Anton. That's true. But guess what, Tavi? I play by the rules. I know what I can and I can't say. I play by the rules of society, and then I play by the rules of the platform that I'm using. You can't just do what you want to do when you want to do it. That is absolutely, positively true. So I have to play within the rules of the parameters, and I got to do what I got to do. Which is one of the reasons why I was like, man, I'm not about to fight the comedian on camera because I'm not about to mess up my bag. Everybody telling me, man, no, man, you should have just got it in. You know what my payouts are? No, they don't like you fighting on camera. Guess what? Okay, we got to play by the rules. Now we can go outside without no cameras and see what's popping. But if you don't, if you're not a bag chaser, if you don't understand the rules of the game, if you don't understand how to play the game, then of course you're gonna be a crash dummy because you used to not having no money. So you got to play by the rules of whatever respective game that you in. Not about to mess up a bag for you.
I felt good. After all those points, I felt good. I felt good. I felt like I had everything set out for me. Right? But as soon as that shut down for me, as soon as I didn't start, that's when God was humbling me. And he said he sat me down for a reason. What good is it driving the store with the Ferrari you only get to drive that Ferrari for the time being. You're not gonna sit and drive a Ferrari for 10 hours. When has anyone driven a Ferrari for 10 hours?
Lonnie says, not agreeing with you on this one. He will be fine. The witness is out there. The Lord is on his side. Romans 8:31. Let's read it. 8:31. Let's go a couple before it, right? And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God. Hey, you notice, before we get into that, you notice how people were so upset that I said something about being a saint? Nobody was using the word saints. Everybody used the word Christian. But when I said it on Stephen A. Smith's platform, now everybody is all of a sudden an expert on the saints. This is why we call ourselves the saints. Completely unrelated, but let's deep dive into it. Goes on to say, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. Called, key word. Let's keep going. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might know that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, he also called. To be predestined to do something is to be called, meaning that this is what your purpose is. You was going to do it before or after the fight. And whom he called, he also justified. And whom he justified, he also glorified, meaning that you already had the stamp of approval on your life before you even knew it. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? What he's basically saying is when you're living in your purpose according to how he predestined you, then that purpose has to be served out, and there's nothing that can stop it, because if he's for you, who's against you? He didn't say everybody that said his name. He didn't say everybody that said, I love God. As a matter of fact, there's a completely different scripture that says, many will come in my name and say, Lord, Lord, I cast out demons and devils in your name. And he's going to say, depart from me. I never knew you. There's another scripture that says, have temperance in all things. There's another scripture that says it rains on the just and the unjust. What's my point? My point is to do everything in order, to do everything orderly, to do things according to what makes sense, and to have temperance in everything that you do. You do not have authorization to just say what you want to say in somebody else's organization. And there's plenty of poor saints everywhere. Now, I'm not putting that on Jaden Ivey. I prayed for him. The minute that I seen this, I prayed for him. And I said, you know what? God bless him. Be with him. Don't let him lack. Don't let him ever need. Bless him to be steadfast in his walk and his journey with you, and give him temperance. In Jesus' name, amen. That's the exact prayer that I prayed for Jaden Ivey. I want his life to be awesome. But this is also a learning lesson. And this is another reason why people, especially saints, babes in Christ, the minute that you give yourself over to Christ, and I don't want this to be a whole teach-a-mony, preach-a-mony, but when you get saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, look at it as first natural, then spiritual. When you become a new man in Christ, you're a babe. Jesus himself didn't even start teaching until he was in his 30s. Why didn't he start teaching when he was in his teens? Why didn't he start teaching when he was in his 20s? Why didn't he start teaching when he was 27? Why didn't he start teaching when he was 28? You're a babe in Christ, meaning that we can't even feed you steak yet. You have to learn. You have to sit down. You have to get up under the elders. You got to get a mentor. You need to learn how to have temperance. You need to learn how to apply it into your life so that you can be fruitful. You can be conducive. I'll give you another example of it. I see people on the streets all the time with a Bible preaching. I seen a young man come up on my platform last Wednesday and he said, I stand on this. But is it conducive? Is it the time and the place for it so that it actually be fruitful and that it actually saves souls and that people respect? If you sit out there and you preach the word every single day, but it's not conducive because you don't learn how to communicate effectively. I'm going to give you one example. You don't learn how to communicate effectively, so people are not receiving you. They're not interested in God. As a matter of fact, you could be a person that say that you for God and preach the word of God, and you could turn people off and push them away from Jesus. Is it conducive? Are you useful, or are you just following your own way because you're so excited about God that you're actually doing more harm than you're doing help? That's why we pray for wisdom. That's why God says get understanding in everything that you do. Get understanding. That's why we have witnesses where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name. That's why we seek confirmation to know that we're going the right way and we're doing the right thing. Jesus himself didn't even walk by himself. He went and got disciples to go and walk with him. All of the disciples moved in pairs. I'm getting a little too deep. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Not the time nor the place. Let's back up for a second. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Let me back up for a minute. Let me back up. I get it. Y'all not ready for that version of me yet. I'm not even in my final form yet. I'm not even in my final form. I'm not even in my final form yet. We're gonna get there. Tavi says it takes courage to preach on a corner. It takes courage to go and take somebody's life. It takes courage to go and rob a store. It takes courage to break up with your wife. 19 Keys was speaking dirty about the FBA movement. I haven't seen it. Crash Out of Cash Out says he has a religious freedom lawsuit on his hands. Can't wait. Brian the Filmmaker says AD don't want to give up those season tickets. I ain't tripping about them season tickets, bro. Honestly, I can do anything I want to do. I ain't tripping about that. I'll switch over to a whole new sport. I'll become a soccer fan. I'll get season tickets to the Lions and be just having just as much fun. Fun is the people who go and the time and the enjoyment that you have. It's not about how much money you spend. It's not about how much, what seats you have. I'm going to have fun no matter where I go and no matter what I do, I'm going to have a ball. It's not the tickets. The tickets was something that we fulfilled because that's what we dreamed about, actually being up and close and watching the game in person. I'm not tripping about that, bro. Jaden Ivey jersey just sold out online. Of course it did. Shout out to IS 3306. Real Antonio says if the roles were reversed, would a homosexual get kicked out of the NBA? That's my only problem. The other side never gets in trouble. Well, cite me an example. It's hard for you to say the other side never gets in trouble if you don't have an example of it. Give me one. Give me an NBA player that's currently in the league that openly proclaimed his love for the D. Jason Collins is not in the league, and Jason Collins did that at the end and the tail end of his career, knowing that he was going to try to use that to try to stay in the league. It was a marketing ploy. Which NBA player is openly flaunting his homosexuality? You have to give me an example. You can't just say stuff because it sounds good. What NBA player is openly saying, this is what I stand for, and this is what my lifestyle is like? None of them. None of them. We're going to talk about it on After Hours tonight. I think it's going to be a good discussion. What was Robert De Niro you told shut up and act? Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. I said, Robert De Niro, we don't want to hear what you got to say. Shut up and act. Facts. That's what I said. I said it with him. Big Mike says, shout out to you, AD, and a great interview with Stephen A. Smith, and hopefully get that Jay-Z sit down in the near future. Shout out to Big Mike. 1999 Red Nose says, hold what you got till you get what you want, till you get what you can, youngin'. That's one-on-one game. Facts. There's plenty of people that be at work every day and you don't know nothing about their life, and they there to do it. They there to do their job and to go home. Duran Lee says, and you will be hated by all of my on account of my name, but the one having endured to the end, he will be saved. Nelly Domingo says Jaden Ivey could make his mom look bad. She's the current head coach of Notre Dame women's basketball. He grew up being around LGBTQ players. Manifest Love, shout out to you for the two ball. Kids Car Wash and Detail Service says cook AD. I knew it was going to be an unpopular take though. Whiskey Pierre Lewis says Anton Shalom, confused. You businessman, you make this make sense. Businesses are catering to the possible 9% of the USA so-called alphabet people, 27 million out of more than 300 million people in the USA. Out of that, maybe 4.5% care and quit. Bad business. It's not bad business because they're not discluding people that actually like basketball. They just want to make it more. They're trying to market it to a broader audience. Don't tell Isaiah that MJ story. Mr. Joe says it doesn't help that he's producing on the court that he's not producing on the court right now. The NBA and NFL will overlook anything as long as, if he was a big dog, then he would, it would be a little bit different. TS Car Wash Detail Service says, this is why ACT, the Joe Budden Podcast, and Nightcap, and we watch. Jesse V. Royalty said, what up, though? Michael Armstrong in the building says, text message to see if you put my old military self in the block party. This is a test message? Why would I put you on a block party? I ain't blocked you. Let's see what else. Chris Park says, Pastor Anton, this is why we're bag chasers. We must move wisely and be smart as a serpent and innocent as a lamb. Matthew 10:16. A lot of people don't even know what bag chasing mean. They just read the hat and they think that they know. Excellence in You says Romans 13:1-7 is the right scripture for governing authority, meaning how you should live, how you should speak more than your words. How you live should speak more than your words. He needs to come to Bible study. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Fob Brown says, ask yourself, is it expedient? How you know about that? How you know about that? I've been saying that. I did say that. That was for my father. Slimmy says, if he's detrimental to the team, would a homosexual man be deemed detrimental to the team? In a locker room with a straight man. NBA's largest games are on Christmas, and telling the player they can't recognize Jesus is hypocrisy. We're going to talk about it. I got a feeling Slimmy going to want to really engage tonight on After Hours, so y'all might want to tap in room 9. Brian the Filmmaker says, WNBA. Y'all not comparing yourselves to the girls, are y'all? All right. Shout out WNBA, do it all the time. Shout out to Brian the Filmmaker. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications. Let me see what's going on. San Diego. I want to bring San Diego to the front of the congregation. What did I do with it? Did I get rid of it? Let me see something. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me see something. See what's popping in these streets. Sometimes I have it on another computer. Computer love. Computer. In my computer. I was also listening to that bully. I listened to the whole thing yesterday. I actually listened to it back and forth about 3 times. So I wanted to make sure that I got the whole album popping off. I might have lost it. I can't believe it. What in the world is going on? Jaden Ivey at San Diego. Oh, I'm not happy about this. If I lost it, I'm going to be pissed. Here we go. I got it. I got it. Why is it not letting me There we go. All right, let me share this with you guys because I'm a little disappointed and it's bothering me a little bit.
Homelessness is really getting out of hand, man. I'm walking down the street in downtown San Diego and smell something musty, and what do I see? Literal human in the middle of the goddamn sidewalk. And I'm not even mad at whoever did it because someone probably thought they're doing some good gave them some pizza, not knowing that they're lactose intolerant, and they just had to go. They couldn't even help themselves. It's like, God, man, how do we fix this, bro? Who do we call? We need a solution ASAP.
Okay, I genuinely don't like to bitch on the internet because it's annoying and no one cares, right? But I feel like this is an issue that a lot of people are going to agree with me on. I've lived here for almost 10 years now, coming up on my 10 this summer, and I have just seen downtown San Diego rapidly decline. I mean, within the past like 2 years or so. The homeless have always been there. It's always been an issue, but it hasn't been as big of an issue as it is now. There is human feces, okay, piss and shit all over downtown. It is not getting cleaned up. It is not. At least over where I live, okay? Not getting cleaned up. Needles everywhere, drug bags everywhere. It is a dump. The city has a stench to it that I literally can't even explain it. And I think it's crazy because, you know, I see all of these new laws coming out and I'm a little bit extra salty because I live somewhere where I keep getting tickets because I don't have parking, which everyone's first, you know, thing they say to me is, well, you moved there knowing there was going to be no parking. That is not true. I was actually promised a parking spot from my landlord that, I mean, that's a whole other story that because she didn't end up giving it to me. But anyway, either way, I went into it thinking I was already going to have a parking spot. So this happened, okay? I'm in a lease. There's nothing I can do.
Real life PJ says, AD, did you come across this when you was in San Diego? Absolutely. Absolutely. I 100% did. 100% I did. Yes, I did. When I was in La Jolla, it was a completely different experience. Than when I was downtown. I can't even show y'all this because he got his pants down. He got his booty out. Let me wait till he pull his pants up. This is me in traffic. He just pulled his pants up. In downtown San Diego, I said, because he had just pulled his drawers up. He had his whole cock meat sandwich out. He had his butt out, the whole 9 yards. Now, I had to fast forward it a little bit to make sure that, and you can see him pulling his pants up. So my whole point is that, yes, it's bad out there. Now, let me say this also. It's nowhere near as bad as it is in Los Angeles. It's nowhere near as bad as it is in Los Angeles and Oakland, California. When I was in Oakland, California, I was like, what in the demon is going on? In the demon streets is going on? When I was in Los Angeles, it's bad. I had never seen it that bad in my entire life. Never seen it that bad in my entire life when I was in California. And it's got a smell to it. You know what I'm saying? And so if I was to ever move or if I was to ever spend an extraordinary amount of time over in San Diego, which that's probably the only place that I would go and live at, you know, for like a winter or something like that, it would have to be in La Jolla. Downtown San Diego, it's got a lot of it got a smell to it. And it just smelled like doo-doo and it smelled like piss everywhere. And that's how I know California is bad, because even in a place where it's supposed to be dope, even in a place where it's supposed to be good, it's messed up. It is 100% messed up. So if you go to let me see. Downtown San Diego. Maps. So let's say, for example, all right, this is Mexico down here. So Tijuana is right up the street. All right. Tijuana is right up the street. You can go right over to Mexico, right up the street. Then you got downtown San Diego, right? And this is downtown right here. All right. Then you can go further up, and this is where you want to go to La Jolla. Over on this side, on La Jolla and the Seaside Cliffs and all of this stuff. This is where you want to be right here, over here. This is the area you want to be in, up on the mountains, overlooking the ocean and all of that stuff, right? Mixture between the ocean and the city. This is the space you want to be in. Now, when you leave and then you go down, right? Then you're going to come down here, and this is the streets, man. This is the streets. Yep. And it's like that over here, too. It really is like that over here. Just drop myself anywhere. And so, like any major city, you know, it's going to have its good parts. It's going to have its bad parts. But then if you start walking around and you start getting into the streets, you're going to start seeing some stuff, right? And it's nice, but you're just going to start seeing some stuff. And that's when you're going to start seeing homelessness encampments and all of that type of stuff around there. So it's a really nice city. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But there's just certain parts, just like anywhere else in California, that's not that great. And you're going to see homelessness, and you're going to see all kind of people, and it's going to stink in some parts, and you're going to see doo-doo somewhere, and you might have to avoid some doo-doo bombs or whatever. But I will say again, it's 10 times better. 10 times better than Los Angeles. 1,000 times better than Los Angeles. So that's my experience with it. I thought that it was but I'd rather be in La Jolla, bro. Every time you've been in California, you've never been impressed. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, big dog.
But I shouldn't be getting ticketed every day to park at my house. Like, this is just getting absolutely ridiculous. So you're going to be, I literally have 15 tickets. I'm not fucking kidding, okay? And again, people yell at me. They say some of them are probably your fault, and you're right. I have taken responsibility for some of them. The street sweeping, I knew I shouldn't have parked there. Totally forgot. Whatever. Like, some of them I do take responsibility for, but it's just insane to me. Like that's what the city's so worried about, and like upping the parking meters during baseball games, or upping the parking for at Balboa Park. It's like you're worried about the wrong things. Okay, like the city is fucking nasty, and the homeless are they're literally dying in front of us. Like, it's crazy to me. It is absolutely crazy, and it's like a humanitarian issue, I feel like, at this point, because I'm so frustrated that when did we stray away from being like human? I don't know.
This is a really aggressive take, and if you don't live in downtown San Diego, don't even comment. I hope this place burns to the ground. This place is completely neglected. It is disgusting. They don't give a shit anymore. You got people falling asleep in the middle of the street, trash everywhere. It's like a zombie apocalypse, and I don't care about the people that are gonna hop on here and be like, "You're so inconsiderate." Bro, I feel bad for them too, but like they get a shit ton of money every month to just completely support this lifestyle that they live. This place is disgusting, and I didn't be like, "Well, just move." I'm planning on it. Believe me, this place sucks.
Now, there's also, I will also tell y'all that there's also, I'm not going to say it's hoods in San Diego. It's some ghetto people. You know what I'm saying? It's some studs, some ghetto people. It's a bunch of different types of people that's trying to be tough. It's some people that live just outside of San Diego, whatever, so on and so forth. But again, like every urban city, not urban city, but every major city, there's going to be good and bad. And I think that that's the biggest thing. The real question that we have to ask ourselves is, why is California and why are we even considering? Like, I seen a video of Roland Martin when I was going through his page. I seen a video of Roland Martin defending Gavin Newsom. And I'm like, why is he defending Gavin Newsom? Gavin Newsom has done a horrible job in California. Doesn't make sense at all. But yeah, everything that you do is going to be different. The difference in San Diego, again, is that it's nothing like Los Angeles. The weather, in my opinion, is nice. And if you go into the really, really nice spots, that's because the dirty sewer water being dumped in the beach from Tijuana that goes into San Diego. If you go into the really nice spots, it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. It's really nice. But it's just expensive. It's expensive, and it's, they should be doing a lot better over in California. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. He's defending Newsom because he likes his knee pads. Oh, man. What's up with them hats? Slimmy is in the chat. I told y'all I'm going to drop them. You just got to be aware, baby. Anton, you need to take vocal lessons. I think you got something. Have y'all heard that the Kanye Bully album? I thought it was okay. There was some songs that I liked on there. Let me see a couple of the songs that I liked on Bully. I like All the Love. But it's kind of like an anthem type of album. You know what I'm saying? Baby, I we left but the 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 baby, I. So I like that song. I also like, what's the other one? It's like a Spanish one. The time. What's the Spanish song that he had on there? Is it Whatever Works? It's not Whatever Works. Last Breath. Bésame, mamá, como tú sabes, déjame, mamá. I like Take my last breath away me. I gotta have a girl in the car for that one because the girls like dancing to this one. But no, that's not for the photos. When we alone, you get loco. So yeah, I liked a few of the songs on there. I will say that I have not been able to get through all of the J. Cole album. I tried again. I haven't been able to listen to the whole thing. I can't get through the whole J. Cole album. I don't know if he got too many songs or what. I don't know what's going on. But I have not been able to get through the whole J. Cole album. I don't know what that is. So, anyways, I will get through J. Cole's album this week, hopefully. Hopefully. What else we got on the docket? Let's see. Woman arrested by her boyfriend. We knocked that one out. Jamila Robinson, we talked about that. San Diego homelessness, we talked about that. Jaden Ivey, we talked about that. Trump to Europe. What is this? Hold on, let me look at this really quickly. I just got to look at this really quickly. Should I save this for tomorrow? North Korea. We are talking about North Korea. Let me see. Homelessness, Jersey, spring breakers.
President Trump has hit out at the UK and other countries, telling them to go get their own oil from the Strait of Hormuz. In a post of Truth Social, he said all of those countries that can't get jet fuel because of the Strait of Hormuz, like the UK, which refused to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, I have a suggestion for you. Number one, buy from the US. We have plenty. Number two, build up some delayed courage, go to the Strait and just take it. You'll have to start learning how to fight for yourself. The USA won't be there to help you anymore, just like you weren't there for us. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done. Go get your own oil. Well, that statement from President Trump comes as Buckingham Palace has confirmed that the King's state visit to the US is to go ahead next month as planned. Charles and Queen Camilla's long-expected historic trip to see.
Do we really care about the King and the Queen of the UK?
President Trump will take place in late April, despite calls for it to be postponed because of the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Well, we have just been watching Pete Hegseth, U.S. Defense Secretary, and he...
No. Let's stop there. Let's back up for a second. Hey, Trump ain't messing around. You know, I like him. I like the fact that he's no nonsense. I like the fact that he says what he means and he means what he says. I like the fact that he talks very openly about putting the world on notice. Why is this gray hair? This gray hair is bothering the hell out of me, bro. Ah! Why is it so gray, though? I don't get it. See how gray it is? Anyways, I like the fact that he just says what he means and he means what he says. Why'd you put it like that? Because it kept aggravating me. I had to do something about it. But no, they should. They should go get their own oil. For the longest, I think that our trade, our partnerships, our relationships to the United Nations has been one-sided. It's been one-sided. We've been being taken advantage of by the UK. We've been taken advantage of by the world. And I think that that's before Trump. That's been all the way, all the way in the 90s, the 2000s. some of the 2010s. Obviously, Biden was getting finessed 100%. And I think we just been being taken advantage of. And so Trump, he's just saying it directly. Listen, if y'all don't want to join in, if y'all don't want to participate, I did the Jamel story already. I did it in the very beginning. If y'all don't want to do what y'all need to do, then go get your own oil or y'all can buy some from us. And so if everybody got to participate, as the United States go, that's the way the world goes. And you can't have this fake courage. And you know, part of it is that what people don't understand about these other countries like the UK is that they got politics just like us. Power moves just like us. Trying to hold on to power just like us. And so the same way that our politicians before Trump was spineless and our Congress members are spineless, it's the same way across the world. Most people are making decisions based off of trying to stay in power. That's why even when it comes to the United States of America, you never see, a lot of times it take the second, either the very beginning of when they first get into office, that's when they do all of their work so that they can start to make themselves more marketable to get reelected, or is once they get into their second term, that's when they start to get a lot of this stuff done. Alicia, gray hair looks thick and stubborn, healthy, thick and stubborn. Well, you know, Heather, a lot of people, a lot of guys I've noticed, I was talking to my homeboy, he a barber, he said that a lot of guys are basically getting fake beards now. He said they're getting strap-on beards, Velcro beards. I guess that's not what it's called, Velcro beards. But they, you know, the same thing that they're getting on their head, how guys is basically getting modified versions of toupees. That's how they getting their beards on, and they getting their strap-on beards. So.
Oil. Pete Hegseth, U.S. Defense Secretary, and he has reiterated Mr. Trump's message, saying, I think the president was clear this morning in his truth that there are countries around the world who ought to be prepared to step up on this critical waterway as well. And speaking just a short time ago, he said and claimed that the U.S. is closer than ever to winning the war against Iran, and that the upcoming days will be decisive.
Just 1 month in, only 1 month, we set the terms. The upcoming days will be decisive. Iran knows that, and there's almost nothing they can militarily do about it. Yes, they will still shoot some missiles, but we will shoot them down. Of note, the last 24 hours saw the lowest number of enemy missiles and drones fired by Iran. They will go underground, but we will find them. We recently destroyed another one of their command bunkers. Leaders forced to flee, no water, no power, no oxygen, no command and control. Their faith in their caves diminishing. The latest intel is clear out of CENTCOM. Our strikes are damaging the morale of the Iranian military, leading to widespread desertions, key personnel shortages, and causing frustrations amongst senior leaders. Just last night, we had 200 dynamic strikes alone. Dynamic strike is a strike where a pilot leaves and during their flight, they get a new target set based on real-time intel given to them. A new launcher, a new location, a new troop formation. A dynamic target is one that changes while you're in the air because of improved intelligence. 200 dynamic strikes alone, in addition to the pre-planned targets. The video the president posted last night of Esfahan, an ammo depot struck by U.S. bombers. You see, you don't get to see many of those videos because, as a reminder, Iran has still shut off the internet to 99.9% of its population.
If they shut off the internet here in the United States of America to y'all would lose y'all mind. Y'all would go crazy. You wouldn't even know what to do to yourself. For y'all, shutting the internet off, that's like being in the dark ages. That's like being in the dark ages. If they was to shut the internet off here in the U.S., I think that would be the call for y'all. Y'all would then be starting to ask Congress for telling Congress, listen, y'all time is up, big dog. The people will riot. They would absolutely tear this place apart. They will riot. People they would go crazy. Y'all wouldn't even know what to do. Cutting the internet off completely and only letting the government have the internet, that would be up. I think y'all would be calling for Congress to get term limits. Y'all would lose y'all mind. Yep, the purge would start.
Iran is wise. They will cut a deal. President Trump doesn't bluff and he does not back down. You can ask Khomeini about that. The new Iranian regime should know that by now. This new regime, because regime change has occurred, should be wiser than the last. President Trump will make a deal he is willing, and the terms of the deal are known to them. If Iran is not willing, then the United States War Department will continue with even more intensity.
Pete Hegseth there speaking a short time ago at the Pentagon. Let's take you live to Washington. We can join our correspondent there, Ione Wells. So much to unpick, Ione, as President Trump once again criticizing European allies for not getting involved in the conflict and telling them to go to the Strait of Hormuz and just take the energy and the oil that they need. What did we hear from Pete Hegseth on Operation Epic Fury about what is happening in the Strait of Hormuz at the moment?
Well, certainly, I think he repeated some of the same criticisms that we heard from Donald Trump, essentially, in particular, taking aim at the Royal Navy. I think a reference there to the United Kingdom's Navy, accusing them of not essentially getting involved to help out. Now, clearly, the US is looking for a solution because this is choking the global oil industry. We've seen just today in the US, average gas prices hit $4. So this is starting to be felt around the country, but around the...
I went to the gas station yesterday. Didn't even think about it. I filled up the nav. It cost me $68. I used premium. It wasn't all the way out either, but filled up the nav, used premium. Didn't even think about it. It cost me $68 and like 14 cents or something like that.
World too, in terms of the financial market sliding as well, all of which are putting pressure on the US administration to try and find a kind of solution. Now, at the moment, Iran is controlling traffic in and out of the Strait of Hormuz and is charging any vessels millions of dollars if they want to get in or out. Now, that is something which the US wants to negotiate away, essentially. What's interesting, though, is we just heard there from Hegseth talking about...
$68, it was $65. Yep. It cost me $65. So, I don't know. What do y'all expect to pay when y'all go to the gas station? That's the real question. Your Audi costs $58. Gas was freaking $3.99 and premium was like $5. I barely drive a Mercedes. Small tank, my F-150 is like $110. I do see a lot of, you know what's so funny, Eric D? I see a lot of people that's saying, oh my God, I love the Cybertruck. Tesla hate is so forced. I've been seeing a lot of people sending me videos like that. I haven't done any review videos on them. But I have been seeing a lot of people saying, man, we're, buying this and buying that or whatever. I love it, this and that. Yep. And then you look in the comments, Tesla hate is so forced. These are awesome vehicles or whatever. I think I want another electric vehicle. One of my favorite cars to drive personally was before I got my 911, I was driving a Taycan. Now, a Taycan has crazy depreciation as far as an electric vehicle, but it was an awesome vehicle. I loved that car. Of all the cars that I've driven, that one I got pulled over the most in. $70 for your Caddy Premium. I had a Porsche Taycan that I got rid of when I got my 911, and I love that vehicle. It looks good. It drives good. It's fast as hell. It sounds good. it actually stops, like people stopping like, man, that car is sick or whatever. So yeah, the Porsche Taycan is dope, bro. I loved that vehicle. It was so dope. I would get another one of those.
Iran, knowing the terms of the deal that the US wants to strike. Now, the US, as far as we know, had previously set out various things it was willing to negotiate on. This included, for example, essentially the end of Iran's any ambitions of a nuclear program, a severe reduction in its missile capacity. As well. Iran, though, has previously said that it wants, for example, negotiations around having sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz in the way that it has at the moment, or wants to negotiate around compensation for the damage that has been done during this war. So it does seem that we are hearing these increasingly contradictory statements about what potential terms of negotiations may be, but also whether talks are actually even happening at the moment. Pete Hegseth doubled down on the US's claim that talks are ongoing, that there's constructive progress underway. But all that we've heard out of Iran so far suggests that there aren't even any formal negotiations that have started so far.
Somebody said they're about to pass a law where they're going to tax you in California on how many miles you drive a day. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Taxing people. Bull crap. Oh, that's a real thing. According to the California Department of Transportation, California is exploring a road charge or mileage tax system, potentially charging drivers 6 to 9 cents per mile to replace the declining gas tax, which is insufficient as vehicle efficiency increases. So this program aims to fund road maintenance, potentially impacting electric vehicle owners and high mileage drivers with potential implementation via tracking methods. That's nonsense. What? So wait a minute, because they can't charge. So California, somebody said, nah, I think this is great. You would think it's great. I've been watching what you've been saying inside of the chat all day. So wait a minute. Y'all started taxing gas, right? Y'all started taxing oil. And when you were taxing oil, that's the way that y'all was generating a lot of revenue, and that's why y'all gas prices was so much higher. So y'all advocated for, because y'all was tree huggers. Oh my God. Oh, I gotta hug a tree. Oh, I'm hugging trees, tree hugging. Oh, save the turtles, plastics, no plastic straws, expiration of let the straws dissolve. Man, I did one of them dumb straws. This is my tree hug. I'm hugging my tree. I did one of them dumb straws, bro. It was already melting when I was drinking my drink. I said, what is wrong with this? Why are the straws dissolving? So that means I got to drink faster so that my straw could dissolve because y'all was trying to save the turtles. Stupid straws. I was like, man, if y'all get this dumb straw out of here, I'd rather not use a straw at all than to use this stupid straw. It was melting while I was drinking my drink. I said, who came up with this dumb stuff? Right? So now y'all push these electric vehicles and everybody because California is the foundation of how most of this stuff get through, right? Meaning that as California was the one that then dictated how automakers was even going to move around when it came to like car mileage and giving us bold engines, weak engines, all of this stuff, right? So California was, because my manufacturers are not going to make a separate car for a completely different market. They want to sell to the whole United States of America, right? So y'all push this, right? Because y'all said it's going to be greener for the air and we're going to reduce smog and we're going to cut costs and all of this stuff. Now, in order to supplement for what they losing in gas tax, because they were saying that they were punishing the oil companies for polluting the air. Now y'all want to do it on mileage. So basically, it don't matter how clean your car is, how efficient your car is, how nice it is, how new it is, Green New Deal it is. None of that stuff, don't matter what it is. You are going to be charged a road charge based on the amount of miles that you drive. This is so dumb, bro. The death of us, the death of y'all and your finances is gonna be taxes, bro. To do anything, they gonna tax you. To breathe, hey man, you want to drive your car over there to La Jolla? You want to go to the store? Well, you got to pay a mileage. You got to pay a road tax, baby. You got to pay the road charge. Well, how much is that gonna cost me? About 12 cents a mile. 12 cents a mile. What do you mean you gonna make me pay a road charge? So I get taxed on buying the car. I got to pay sales taxes. First of all, I get taxed on the income that I'm going to use to buy the car, and then I get taxed on the car. And I get taxed with insurance. I get taxed with extra fees when it comes to registration. So when I go to register my car, I also got to pay a tax on that. Then when I drive the car, I got to pay a tax on gas and or a road charge just to be able to get to and from. Just being taxed to death. Tax, 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 tax. No better country, no better roads, no better nothing. Just taxing people. Just hitting them with the taxes. Taxes, the taxes, the taxes, the taxes. Tax, 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 tax. I go on DoorDash and I want to order a meal. Taxed. Tax, 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 tax. I started back cooking again, bro. I started back cooking. I said, I'm not going to let y'all finesse me no more. I'm not going to let y'all take advantage of me no more. I'm not going to let y'all use me no more. I was tired, boss. I'm tired of paying egregious amounts of taxes. It's not fair. It's not fair. I'm sick of it. And I don't know how y'all do it in California. That's how people be living on the streets, because they're like, yo, listen, I'm going to live off the land. I'm going to just take a dump on the streets. I'm going to just walk down the streets. I'm going to sunbathe on the concrete. I'm going to get my RV. It don't move no more, but I'm still here. We ain't got no electricity. We ain't got nothing in here, but we here. It's the Sunshine State. Is that what California is, the Sunshine State? Oh, snaps. This is a Pistons game tonight? I ain't even planning on going to that. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Michael Armstrong says, God is good all the time. 20 plus years ago, I almost hooked up with a cool San Diego woman. My dumb A was blessed it didn't work out. 9 times out of 10, if the person that you were supposed to talk to, it wound up not making it through, you didn't miss out on nothing as a guy. It's the opposite. It's the opposite way with women. So a lot of times, most of the time with women, 9 times out of 10, the guy that you passed up, he gonna wind up becoming super successful, or he gonna wind up being a good guy. And you're gonna be pissed at the person that you with. Now with the guys, if it's usually a girl and it's like, wait a minute. Man, usually guys say I dodged a bullet with that, and the women say that's the one that got away. Every time. The women say, oh man, that's the one that got away. And the guys say, I almost got caught up with that. Ain't that crazy? Man, you dodged a bullet with that one, bro. You dodged a bullet with I can't think of one girl in high school or anything like that where I was like, man, I should have stuck with her. Nah, it worked out exactly the way that it was supposed to work out. God is trying to tell you something. $1.3 million, Takar. I mean, your car. Actually, it might be 1.33 million on the Anton Daniels channel if we just keeping it funky. Oh, snaps. We not there yet. We not there yet. We almost there. Yeah, it should be 1.33 million. So, yep. I'm not checking this no more. I'm done checking this. I'm not checking this no more. I am done with it. No more checking it. No more looking at the stats. No more doing none of that. I'm done. That's it. I'm not checking it no more. I'm done. No more checking that. We done with that. Let me see what's going on. God is good. 20 plus years ago, almost hooked up with a cool San Diego chick. Shout out to Michael Armstrong. Bro and sis is a banger, says TS Car Wash. AD, because you old. That's one way to look at it. Around 10 or 15 years ago, a young teenage male at a troubled youth academy, military style, said that he believed in Trump. Shout out to you, big dog. AD, you still moving south? Yeah, if Florida passed no property taxes. I told you I was gonna buy a place in Florida if they passed no property taxes. Let me see something. They say $129,000 a year is the new poor. I didn't watch it. I want to check it out. That can't be real. AD, I thought they already passed no property taxes in Florida. No, they had passed it, but they had sent it up to the Senate or something like that in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
That number is supposed to mean a comfortable, stable, solidly middle-class life. A house with a white picket fence, a car, and maybe a family holiday. The kind of life the American dream was built on. But today, for a large and growing number of American families, that dream is gone. $83,000 a year feels tight. Tight enough that the car breaking down, the rent going up, or a medical bill in the mail can turn a stable month into a financial crisis. Now here's the strange part. According to the US government, these households are doing fine. Better than fine, actually. They earn more than double the official poverty line for a family of four, which sits at just over $31,000 a year. That number determines who qualifies for Medicaid, food assistance, housing support, and tax credits, and it shapes much of the national conversation around inequality and economic mobility. So, we're left with a contradiction. If $31,000 is the official government definition of poverty, but $83,000 feels tight for millions of families, then either household expectations have shifted dramatically or the benchmark no longer reflects economic reality. So, as always, we've got some important questions to answer. How can a family earning the median income in one of the wealthiest economies on Earth feel economically fragile? How exactly is the poverty line calculated, and does that calculation still reflect what it actually costs to live? And finally, what are the real-world consequences of basing policy on past measures of economic well-being? The demand for your data has never been higher, but what many people don't know is that even your service providers can be unsafe. Over the last 5 years, there have been over 16 major data leaks from companies like Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile.
Sound like an ad.
$3,000 a year. What does that money actually cover? After federal income tax, payroll taxes, and state income tax, depending on where you live, take-home pay lands somewhere in the mid-$60,000 range.
Real robbery.
That's the pool of money available. Everything has to come from that.
So, first of all, Social Security is not even solvent. It's a Ponzi scheme. Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Now, the biggest expense is housing. Nationally, the median homeowner with a mortgage spends a little over 21% of their income on housing. But in New York and California, homeowners are closer to 36%. In Hawaii and Washington, D.C., around 35%. Well above the 30% threshold economists use to define a household as cost-burdened. And for renters, it's even worse, with the median renter already spending about 31% and roughly 12 million people spending more than half their income on rent alone. For a median income family renting in a major city, annual housing costs can easily run $25,000 to $30,000. Let's call it $28,000. That takes a $65,000 take-home income down to $37,000 before anything else. Then you've got transportation.
But see, that's the key, man. Listen, the biggest things that is killing y'all budget, the biggest things killing your budget is homes and cars, big dog. I keep telling y'all that. You don't want to start going into that. You don't want to start getting into the cars and stuff. What's the first thing that people do when they get money? They go and get a new car. And the you know, the maintenance, the insurance, and all of that stuff, it could break you. It could break you and it could absolutely destroy you. But the first thing that people do, I know I did it when I first started getting money. First thing I went and got is I went and got that big dog car. First thing I went and did was I went and got the big dog car. That was back when I was poor or on my way to being poor. That's it. You know what the first thing you should do is stay with your parents and invest in yourself. Stay with your parents and invest in yourself. That's the first thing that you should do when you start getting money. When you start making money, stay down and invest in yourself. And sometimes you could just, if you are going to move to an area where you live, work, and play all in the same area, and that way you don't need a car. Told y'all, I don't even need a car at all. I don't need one car. I can completely go without a car. I don't need a car at all. I can go without it.
$37,000 before anything else. Then you've got transportation. The United States was built around the car, which means employment almost always requires one, usually two. When you factor in fuel, insurance, maintenance, registration, and financing, another $10,000 are gone.
What a lot of people don't realize about cars is this. The car industry is set up to keep you poor. Once you get into a car, you are systematically set up to stay poor. And a lot of people don't even realize that. Because the minute that you buy a new car, in most instances, let me rephrase that. The minute that you finance a new car, you're going to be upside down the minute that you drive off the car lot. Most people are not writing it off as a business expense. They don't even know how. They don't even understand the rules of the game, right? They're not financing it as a business expense. And so you throw that in there. And here's the caveat to that. The new car smell and feel wear off within a year or two after that. Then you always going to want the upgrade, or you're going to want the new joint, or you're going to want the bigger joint. So now you're paying $800 a month. And then you're paying whatever you're paying in insurance. And then you got to maintain it to get tires. And then you got to get gas, and you're complaining about gas prices, right? So you factor that in. And then if you want to get a new car, you're not going to put some money down so that you come up and shore up the old car that you have, right? So what you're going to do is what? You're going to roll over the payments. And then you're going to get further behind and upside down in a new car because you just focusing on the payment and not actually how much the car is worth. So you throw that in there, right? And then you're going to change your lifestyle. Here's the real system that's behind it. And this is the part that people are not taking into consideration. then you're going to change your lifestyle to reflect the fact that you got a car. So it used to be where everybody would live closer to the things that they did every day, even when it came to the job that you work or the industry that you were in. You moved closer to the industry that you were in. But what happens is, because you have a car and you can go further distances, that then gave rise to the suburbs, because you are now going to commute. So now you're spending 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours combined going there and back to get back and forth to work, which takes away from the time that you have to live, your life force. You're spending all of your time in the car. But you've also become dependent on that car because you needed to get to and from work. So when you get on TikTok and you pick up your phone and you say, oh my God, I don't like the way that things are going, and so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. You've created a lifestyle around what you do, which then factors into what you think your expenses should be, because now we've programmed the entire world to believe that you need a car. You have to have a car. You got to get a car. You need a car in order to be successful, blah, 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 blah. We've programmed ourselves to believe that everybody is supposed to have a car. We've changed our culture to say that when you get 16, 17, 18, hey, man, they've marketed to the children. And man, as soon as you get 16, 17, 18, you got to get a car. Got to get a car. And so all of our marketing and all of our lifestyle is going to be based around that vehicle, because we've changed what our expectations is. And now we've created even more dependency on it, because now every household, everybody got to have a car. And the woman got to have a car, and the man got to have a car. And when the kids get old enough, we're going to say, man, I'm about to buy my kid a car. And this is how we've created a system. And we're not just buying the car because the cost of the car is no longer as much of a factor. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're not just buying a car. Nope, that's not what we're doing. We're not just buying a car. We're financing it, which means that the cost of the car is going to be even more than whatever the purchase price is, because we're financing it for not 5 years no more. We're going 6 years, 7 years, 8 years now. And we're not going to pay it off early in order to save ourselves interest. We're going to focus on our car payment. Hey, man, how much is your car payment? What's your average car payment? Then you pay all of the expenses that go along with it. And then we've created a culture where dating, now women are judging men based off of the car that they drive. It's not enough to just get something to go back and forth. You have to get something that's sweet, because you know what? If you drive that car, then you kind of like a woman. Ooh, I ain't talking to no man with no car, getting them back and forth. He got to have a nice car. Then we got to get into the luxury car. Then we get into hypercars. We get this. And so we've created a dependency and a culture around the car. Because now the proper thing to do is what? When you pick up a girl from, to take her on a date, you got to walk around and open up the door so she can get in the car. This is the culture. We've become slaves to the culture that we've created for ourselves. Somebody says sometimes you sound hypocritical. How do I sound hypocritical? How do I sound hypocritical? What's hypocritical about me? What did I say that was off? I didn't even know that this was applicable to me. I'm just talking about the culture of cars. I didn't know this was about Anton. I thought we was just talking about the culture of cars. I didn't know I was exempt from it. I love cars. How did I become exempt from it? How was that? How am I hypocritical when I'm talking about the culture around the systems that we've created to require for us, because it's even deeper than that. How is it hypocritical? Did I say I was above it? I'm not above it. What do you mean? Here's the beautiful thing about it, Dominique. Not only am I not above it because I'm not excluding myself from the conversation. That's why I said the culture. But in a way, I am above it because I can afford all of the cars. I don't do any financing. I'm not depending on cars in order for me to get back and forth. Often at times, I often say that, I don't even need a car in order to do the things that I want to do when I want to do it. I do it because I can. And everything that I have is paid for. And I don't complain about gas prices. I could do what I want. This doesn't affect me. So now that we remove me out of the conversation so that you can hold you accountable for being upside down in your own car note, let me go a little bit further. Here in Michigan, one of our biggest things is, man, we got potholes. Man, what's going on with the roads? So what do? They say, well, we're going to raise more money so that we can tax y'all more money so that we can fix the roads, because it doesn't make sense that you have a car and that you can't go down a road without having to hit a pothole so that you got to change your tire. So now we're going to get more tax from politicians that's justifying that we have to continue to pay for the upkeep of our roads because we got to get that car back and forth from work. And then the car companies start having lobbyists against, and this is historically in Detroit true, they lobbied against public transportation and expanding the trolleys and the rails and any kind of subway that was dead on arrival. Why? Because they needed to sell more cars. And in order for them to sell more cars, they can't have you on public transportation. And so the entire culture, the entire system, our entire ecosystem, we say, oh man, but now you got to buy a car. And not only do you got to buy a car, you got to buy them in America. And then we also start talking about the jobs that it creates and the industry that it produces. And that means in order for the industry to be thriving, we got to keep buying cars, baby. And so that's when I say that we've created systems. We've created systems that then make us interdependent on these industries for us to thrive. Because when the factory shut down over in some random city in Indiana, they're going to say, oh my God, what's going on with the jobs? They're going to lobby, they're going to talk to their senators, and they're going to talk to their House members and say, what are you doing to bring more businesses? Because we're dying over here because we became interdependent on this industry in order to thrive. Because we need the cars. And the tire industry. And the maintenance industry. And the repair industry. Right? And the customization industry. And then you start having traffic lights and stoplights. And you got to redesign all of the different roads to make it a better experience. And then you got the insurance industry. They becoming independent on it. And then you have what was I about to say? Not the insurance industry. Then you got, it's an entire industry that then is dependent on this for y'all to survive and for y'all to thrive. So what am I saying? Let's go back to the original conversation when it comes to this whole cost of living situation. They would leave you to believe that $83,000 as a family, a household income is not sufficient. That's what they would leave you to believe, right? But then they'll tell you that the new poverty is $129,000 a year, $123,000, $129,000 a year. Let's go into it. What am I telling you about? $129,000 is the new poor. That's what they're selling. Right? What is Anton from AntonDaniels.com telling you? I'm telling you that you don't have to subscribe to what they have deemed your lifestyle to be and the needs that you have to make or the changes that you have to make in order to live a successful, healthy lifestyle. The hoes don't like it when you don't come through in your little beater or the fact that you cancel, you take public transportation. That depends on your confidence. It's a flex to me when a dude is confident enough to tell a chick, "Oh, I don't even use cars. Oh, I don't own a car." To me, that's like saying, "Oh, I don't even have a TV." It don't mean that you poor. It don't mean that you can't afford it. It just means that you live a different lifestyle. Oh, I walk everywhere I go. I kind of, and if whatever I don't walk to, I just take public transportation. I can just take the train. But you're not confident enough to do that because you feel like you got to do it for other people. That's the difference. You don't have to subscribe to spending 20% of your income on a car. Your lifestyle is according to what makes sense to you. So if you don't want to spend an egregious amount of money on a car and getting registration and insurance and all of this other gas, guess what? There's people out here that don't give a F about gas prices because they don't even know nothing about going to the gas station. It's people that's decided that they don't care about what everybody else thinks, and they feel like electric cars is best as an alternative for them, and they just bought an electric car, and when they need to get into a car, they just unplug it, get in it, go and do whatever it is they need to do, and then go back. But we know what we do. We peer pressure each other because we feel like we got to put our trauma on everybody else because you don't want to be poor by yourself. You don't want to be poor by yourself. I'm just keeping it 100. There's some people that live an incredible lifestyle and don't have the same pressures as you because they're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I can pretty much guarantee you I'll never buy Chrome Hearts in my life. I wear Levi's. Now, I spend money on other things that's meaningful to me. But my point is that I've customized my lifestyle based off of what I like. I just had a conversation with y'all about these Rolexes earlier in the day, right? And I said, you know what? I'm kind of over timepieces like that. Like, I like them, but I only need like one or two. What do I need all of this for? Why is this like this, right? Every day I'm evaluating what makes sense for me, not based off of what the culture think, not based off of what's being marketed to me, but based off of what makes the most sense. When I see people say, "Oh man, 100,000 is poor," bull, that's nonsense. You don't have to manage it. You don't know how to manage it effectively. You don't know how to manage it. I know people whose total expenses for the month is less than $2,000 a month. I know people that got a dope studio, like a dope studio apartment, because it's just them by themselves, right? Got a dope studio apartment by themselves. They don't need a lot of stuff. They more focus on the views, so they're willing to spend the money on the views. They don't own a car. They live, work, and play all in the same area. They walk where they want to go to. And they spend, and you know what they spend their money on? When they go to travel to see experiences, or they like to spend their money on concerts and stuff like that. Their total required expenses is less than $2,000 a month. And then they put all of their money, they put like 80% of their money into the markets and into their investments. And they don't even care about what nobody else thinks. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. They walk in and they catch public transportation everywhere they go. They be fly as hell, right? But they don't spend a lot of money on their clothes. They focus on curating the stuff that actually makes sense. They got a studio apartment that they chilling in that they don't even really be in that much. And they be out having a good time. And then most of the time they be doing stuff that be free. They be on the DeQuinder Cut, bike riding, walking up and down the river walk, going to the different festivals because it's a different festival every single week, hanging out at campus marches, doing, you know what I'm saying, kicking it with people, playing chess in the park, doing all of that type of stuff, right? And when they want to go to an event, they'll buy it a la carte. They'll just do that event. They live here in Michigan. They're right here. They live right downtown. And they be having a good time. And then they put almost all of the money that they make into their investments. And they don't even think about it. And they just be chilling. People, man, I'm telling y'all, it's not that everybody is making so much more money than you. It's that they have a different lifestyle than you. And then they hit me up. Hey, Tom, what games you not going to? Why, what's up, big dog? Hey, man, you think you can give me them tickets in that game? Yep. They sitting in the same they sit in the same seats I'll be sitting in, except I'm the one that paid for the ticket, but we just so happen to be friends. Hey, Tom, let me get them tickets, bro. All right, big dog. Keeping it 100 with you. And that's the life that they choose to live, right? That's the lifestyle that they're choosing to maintain. That's how they live their life. You say it's broke talk. I say it's hoe talk. Because all of them is still going, regardless of you making $2 million a year or if you're making $78,000 a year. They all messing with the same chicks and they love their lifestyle and they don't feel like they have to meet no expectations for nobody. You call it broke talk, I'm talking hoe talk. You missing it. They don't care what nobody else think. They doing what they want to do and they living life on their terms and they're not asking nobody for nothing. Because their life and what they require is much different than you. Some people want to spend more money. Some people don't want to spend more money. But all I'm saying is stop complaining about how much stuff costs because $129,000 a year is not the new poor. I don't care what they tell you. It's not the new poor at all. He was talking about me buying the game tickets, big dog. I'm a season ticket holder, so I get all 41 games. But I don't go to all 41 games, so then they just be like, hey, man, what games you not going to? Hey, man, hook me up for this one in particular. Some of y'all gonna catch it and some of y'all not. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Oh, snaps, we over the 3-hour mark. Me and my brother live in a 5-bedroom rent house that we split all expenses and running a successful business from the ground up. Shout out to you, Sterling. That's dope. That's real talk. Y'all laughed at the Kia Soul the other night, but it's my work car and it's paid off and it's nothing to fill the tank. I understand your point, my guy. Yeah, but you gotta be, it don't matter what you're driving, bro. You could drive a bucket. And if you got that confidence and if you him, it don't matter what you're driving. She going. She going, I promise you. Don't matter if you drive a bucket. Don't matter if you drive a Kia Soul. Don't matter if you're driving a hoopty. Don't matter what you're driving. They going. If you him, they going anyway. And if you need it to, if you gonna get it for you, but don't feel like you need to get it in order to impress other people is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, big dog. All right. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We going in tonight, after hours, room 9. I think it's going to be a lit show. It's going to be a lit show. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all tonight. Peace.